Good evening, racing fans. Welcome to Racing Action for this Friday evening at Grand River Raceway. First dash will go to post in approximately 16 minutes under blue skies. And, well, we better get right to the changes. Races 1 and 2 have no changes. No changes, races 1 or 2. Race number 3 scratched is number 4, Baby's Piglet. Race 3 scratch 4, Baby's Piglet. In race number 4, number 3, Cold Beer Calling, bridle change. Blind bridle to blinkers, blind blinkers, Cold Beer Calling, 4th. Race 5 will go as programmed. No change as race 5. In race number 6, number 7, he's Sporty. Bridle change, can't see back to blind bridle. That's can't see back to blind. Scratched is 8 River Cruise. Race 6, scratch 8 River Cruise. And races 7 through 10 have no changes. No changes, races 7 through 10. Once again, looking at races 1 and 2. Race number 1 and race number 2, no changes. It is now 15 minutes to post time. Time to welcome in our co-host and handicapping expert for this evening, Robert Sky Reed. How are the skies in Margaritaville today, Robert?
No, they're fantastic. It was a little warm today, a little bit warm today, but it's cooling down a little bit now. So happy about that because I'm a big Colt, so I like the cooler weather. But hey, today a little bit bittersweet, right? Because we're not going to call it Fantastic Friday. It is a Fantastic Friday, but we're going to call it Final Friday because that's what it is today. It's our final Friday card of the season here at Grand River Raceway, and it feels like just yesterday we were kicking off our 20th season of racing, and now we've almost reached the end of it, right? We've got just 3 cards left. And obviously we'll go out with a big bang Wednesday with the finals of the Prospect Series. And the thing that really is intense here at the river right now with just those 3 cards left is the driver and trainer battles for those titles for the honors of top driver and top trainer of the meet. And I've never seen it this close. I mean, it usually comes down to the wire here, but we've got 5 drivers within 3 wins. Jay Harris still leads the way with 38. Colin Kelly right behind him with 37. Brett McDonald, Anthony Hahn both with 36. And Travis Henry with 35. So incredible stuff there. It's going to make the racing action all that more exciting over these last 3 cards. On the training side, how about 3 trainers tied, 15 wins apiece? And then we've got a gap of 3 wins to Jacob Roberts with 12. So we've got Brett Lester, Jody Cullen, Lori LePage. Jacob Roberts has 12, and then Gerard Demers has 11. So we've got 5 trainers within 4 wins of each other as well. It doesn't get any tighter than that. So should be all that more interesting the way it plays out over the last 3 cards of racing. But either way, it is still a fantastic Friday here in our last Friday card of the season. We've got 10 dashes, well-balanced card, in my opinion, and we've got all the multi-leg wagers in play tonight, including that pick 5, the early pick 5 with that guaranteed pool of $5,000, low takeout 15%. We'll come back at about 8 minutes to post, take a closer look at that sequence. 8 minutes to post of the opening dash here at Grand River Raceway on our final Friday card of the season. You know what time that is, though? It's time to look at the early pick five guaranteed pool, $5,000, low takeout, 15%. Gary and I always map out our suggested wagers for you in that sequence. One of my favorite wagers here. Everyone that follows the program knows that. One that I love to play. And tonight's ticket, a reasonable one, right? $7.20. And I'm going to start with a key and end with a key. So we're going to have bookend singles here in this early pick five tonight. And the three beach tour, well, I jumped off his bandwagon last time. The Robert Off angle proved too much to overcome on that occasion. He went out and absolutely jogged and did so at a nice price of 9-2. Right now, 2-1 on the board. I thought he would even take more action than that. Murray's watching, taking support, and he should after being parked first over to that one last time out. Now he gets the post edge over Beach Tour, so maybe he'll be trying to give him fits. But either way, I thought Beach Tour looked fantastic. He's won 2 in a row. Should be bringing with confidence. I said, you know what? I'm just going to single Beach Tour tonight. Back on the bandwagon. Hopefully, that doesn't end up being our detriment. But we're going to go with him tonight. Beach Tour singled, race 1. Race number 2, using the 2, 3, and 6. Looks like a contentious race for $7,000 claimers. Just 6 in the field. We're using half them. And we've got Julio get the stretch as our top choice in there, liking that one's progression and thinking he can get the job done. But I do think it's a contentious race. Race number 3, 3, 5, and 6. DM Snake Plissken's one that we've kind of been riding as of late. But I do think this is a pretty tricky field for him now, and Relentless is one that I think you've got to have on your ticket. 3 straight wins at Hanover, been doing really good things there. And Sunny Beach Boy, this is a good drop down in class for him. I think he should be more than competitive against this group, and he gets the post edge over both those horses. So 3, 5, and 6 in race 3. Then we're going to go 3, 4, 5, and 6 in race 4. Very intrigued, though, by the 3, Cold Beer Calling, getting his nose back on the gate. First over a long way last time out. Thought it was a tremendous effort from that one. In his third start for Daryl Laver, has hit the board in all of his tries since moving to that conditioner's outfit. And I think that tonight might be the night for him. But I did go for deep in there only because it's 2-year-olds and there's quite a few angles you can look at in there. So 3, 4, 5, and 6, but I'll likely play some tickets just also singling the 3, Cold Beer Calling. And then race 5, well, I'm going to single a mare that I've always been fond of. And especially recently, the success she's had for Daryl Laver. So we get a couple of Laver horses that we're going to try to finish off the sequence with. And this one, Take Your Breath Away. Trailing post tonight. Her effort last time, the line doesn't know justice. She raced really well last time at Mohawk Park. She finished third, but she was trying so hard, right to the wire. Home in 27-1, back half 55-1. And the top 2 finishers, Carson's Gouda, 2 Pistol Annie. I think either one of those horses would be a heavy favorite against this group. So more than happy to go it alone with Take Your Breath Away. And she has had, a lot of success since moving to the barn of Daryl Laver. So $7.20 is the way I see it. Let's see how Gary Guy has his ticket mapped out.
I did spend a little more money than you, so $9.60, and used one of my most standard ways of doing the pick 5, bunch of pairs, and then went to 3 in the 4th race for $9.60. And in that first race, the 1 and 3, Beach Tour, though, is my top one. In fact, I added Murray's Watching because I thought I'd throw in one at a bit of a price to what I thought would be the heavily favored Beach Tour. That's not the way it's playing out right now. I wonder if that's the way it's playing in the pick 5. But in race number 2, the 1 and 2, so we have a difference of opinion. Sunseeker, and I'm willing to throw Silverback Jackback in there on the inside for Brett Lester now with a better post position, and left off a couple that you used. So second race could split things up with us. And race number 3, I only have Relentless and DM Snake Plissken. I do have DM Snake Plissken as the one to beat, but those are the 2 I believe in there. Race number 4, the 3, 4, and 6, so Cold Beer Calling, Price Control, and Bet on Sunshine, I believe are the major 3 in that race. And in the 5th race, I do love Take Your Breath Away, but I did add Tesla Power on the inside just to see what she can do in there. Although a 3-year-old against some older ones might not be the right way to go, but it is the inside post position and flash speed. But Take Your Breath Away is the most likely winner, I think, in the fifth race. So it's $9.60, Rob. Some shared opinions and some differences.
Yes, I'm sure it was six combinations, right? Six that we both get to the winner's circle together. And, in that last leg, if you like the nine, you got to like the one, and vice versa. So I like that addition of Tesla Power, because if you do like Take Your Breath Away like I do, you have to hope the Tesla Power is going to race well, because she's the one that's going to likely determine the type of trip that Take Your Breath Away will be getting from that second tier spot. But yeah, similar opinions throughout. And you know what? And this opening dash, Murray's watching, is taking in that money right now. And I'm a little bit surprised. And Gary's right. We'll see, how it plays out come post time. And I still would think that Beach Tour right now, when you look at that screen right now and see all those threes on it, you would think that Beach Tour is probably the hefty favorite in the pick five right now. Maybe it still plays out that way vertically at the word go. But you've got a few minutes to map out your winning wagers for this early pick five. Guaranteed pool $5,000, low takeout 15%. We'll come back in just a few moments to take a closer look at the opening dash.
Field on parade for race one. Juan Murray's watching. Travis Henry for Robert Kyle Fellows and M&S Racing. Yolanda Fellows. Number 2 is Shanghai Kai. Anthony Hahn for Scott McNiven and Kimberly McNiven and Donald Douglas. 3 is Beach Tour. Mike Horner for Mark Horner and RAW Equine. Number 4 is Aussie the Second, J.B. Renault for Julie Walker and Leonard Gamble. Number 5, Mike Ron, Daryl Thiessen for Ken Fritsch and Ron Ash and Mike McLaughlin. And number 6 up, Joey's Credit, Colin Kelly for Jacob Roberts and James Woods. Field of 6, race number 1. First of 10 dashes on this Friday night. Let's get a look at this field. And now, Rob, the odds between Murray's Watching and Beach Tour have flipped around to more the way that I thought they would, and probably the way that you would have thought as well.
pretty wild in itself. But now tonight, back on the bandwagon. So hopefully he can handle the weight of yours truly. But 4 to 5, and I think we'll likely try to control things throughout. Even though Murray's watching draws better than him tonight, if he shows that same speed off the gate, I don't think they'll be able to hold him off in the early going.
And Beach Tour, of course, really coming in fine form. But Murray's watching before that last race. You do have to like the consistency. I thought maybe enough people would back off of Murray's watching off that last race that there might be value. It's been climbing now to 3 to 1.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to land around that number. I had him marked down for 9 to 2, maybe 5 to 1. Right now he's sitting at 7 to 2, and I think you kind of have to get that number on him because last time he went off at 5 to 2 and got beat pretty handily. So you would think if Beach Tour now is going to draw all that action, you'd want to get a pretty good number on Murray's watching. But I don't mind the addition of him in the pick 5 because Beach Tour is one that hadn't been showing that kind of early snap off the gate in other efforts. So if all of a sudden those tactics change again tonight, who knows what might happen for him? I just can't see that happening. Handled aggressively in each of his last 2 bull trips to the winner's circle. I think we'll see that. But you're right, Murray's watching incredibly consistent. Light in the win column, right? Compared to one like Beach Tour, 7 for 16, 2 for 17 for Murray's watching, but one that he tries hard every single time he's on the racetrack. You can see that in the efforts that he's put forth.
Number 4, Aussie the Second, JB Renault for Julie Walker, and you've tabbed that barn to some success of late, and well, I missed the about there. And Aussie the Second was a winner here 2 races ago, getting the better of Wizard of Batsu, who's been racing well.
Yeah, it was a good form reference, wasn't it? I think I had him on top last time at 12 to 1. Getting kind of excited when he got away in a good position. Thought he raced well just to kind of gamely chase, the top 2 finishers to the wire, and he was losing ground obviously on Beach Tour, who raced fantastic. Dalhousie came around him late, but I still thought that he stepped up his game in recent efforts, and we've seen the barn of Julie Walker have so much success as of late. Last shot comes to mind as one that's really raised her game recently. And I thought Aussie the Second kind of did something similar when he went out and blew the field away on September the 8th in the class below this. Now, he was aided by, I think we had like one of the hefty favorites made a break in stride early in the early going, and that kind of let him get to the lead. But in any event, he's been in good form, and 5 to 1's probably about the price you'd have to demand on him. For me, he's a big-time player underneath the exotics.
And then number 2, Shanghai Kai, is interesting that you use this one on the ticket. The recent form isn't good, but has gate speed, light in the win column, but certainly can pop off early from an inside spot, probably get a trip, and land somewhere on the ticket at a price.
Yeah, and he's a horse, like you hit the nail on the head. It's purely a speed play with him for me. And that's what I like about Shanghai Kai. He's a horse you can always use in the exotics, especially when he draws inside. His last 3 efforts, he's got a 6 and 2 7s, so that's going to obviously not help him, get off the gate well. Tonight, post 2, I think he will be looking for position off the switch. Anthony Hahn's also in that race for the driver's title, so I think we'll see this one held pretty aggressively.
And right now, number 3, Beach Tour now is the 4 to 5 betting favorite, even money. Murray's Watching just took a hit down to 9 to 5. It's Murray's Watching in Shanghai Kai on the inside. In the center, Beach Tour, Aussie the Second to the outside, Mike Rod, and up Joey's Credit. Field of 6, race number 1. First of 10 dashes on a beautiful Friday night as we are gathered at the river. They're at the start of the rough. Beach Tour. Murray's Watching. Aussie the Second. Shanghai Kai doesn't get off the gate very well. Up Joey's Credit. And then Micron on the inside. Murray's Watching is the one we're watching with the lead right now. And Beach Tour is racing, filling the pocket. Aussie the Second is on the inside and is right now Aussie the Third. Then it is Up Joey's Credit. Shanghai Kai. Micron is trailing. They roll on to the opening quarter. Murray's Watching at 3 to 2 leads it. Beach Tour, the heavy favorite, is filling the pocket. Aussie the Second is third. Then Up Joey's Credit, Shanghai Kai, and Micron is trailing 27 and 4 opening quarter. And Murray's Watching is charging on the lead and is in front by 2 1/4. Beach Tours racing second as they race their way off the turn. Aussie the second is positioned to third. And then fourth on the inside is Up Joey's Credit. Now coming out, that is Micron. And popping out goes Up Joey's Credit. Shanghai Kai's in the 2 wide path as Micron is out 3 wide. Now we'll get down 2 wide and into the backstretch off a 57-4 halftime at a 30-second second panel breather. Murray's Watching is leading. Up Joey's Credit has come on to get second. Beach Tour is on the inside third. Shanghai Kai is fourth. Then Aussie the second. And Micron. Murray's Watching as they hustle on to 3/4. Up Joey's Credit at 16-1. He's trying to pull the upset of Beach Tour. The heavy favorite is still on the inside on the back of Murray's Watching. Murray's Watching still has the lead, but that advantage is a neck. 126 2 3/4. Murray's Watching is trying to fend off Up Joey's Credit. Beach Tour on the inside. Shanghai Kai now has moved up into contention. And then Aussie the second of Micron on down the stretch drive. Murray's Watching. Murray's Watching. Beach Tour up the inside. Murray's Watching. Beach Tour is getting closer, but Murray's Watching is going to win. Beach Tour was second. Up Joey's Credit and Aussie the second. 155 flat. Murray's Watching. Nice bounce back performance and, got the lead, a second panel breather, and got it home, Rob.
Yeah, he was, and you're still trucking in the pick five, and I'm not. So there's that. But no, you were, like I said, I thought it was a good ad by using Murray's Watching. The odds tightened up again too, right? 3-5, Beach Tour, but Murray's Watching came down to 3-2. Driven with purpose tonight, right? He wanted the lead and was not going to let Beach Tour go. Mike Horner did, try to drive on for the lead, then had to take a seat in the pocket. And that's really the difference at that point, right? Because last time Beach Tour kind of freewheels it out there on the engine, got loose on the lead, did have to, battle Murray's Watching a little bit, but kind of swelled up on the front. This time out has to ride in the pocket, and that second quarter breather is really the difference tonight, isn't it? That 30-second second quarter breather. Murray's Watching is going to love that. He's one that typically kind of gets those difficult trips and travels those hot fractions. So tonight, though, full marks for the effort and a nice start to the pick five for you, Gary.
And the thing with Murray's Watching, the last 2 times this one made the lead, and you had to think maybe from post one he was a winner, and then third by a head to Dalhousie in Punches and Bunches, which is a pretty nice reference.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, like we said, he's a horse that goes out and tries hard, right? Every time he's on the racetrack, and you'll never go wrong owning a horse that tries hard or betting a horse that tries hard, and that's what Murray's Watching does. And tonight, like I said, full marks for the effort, but I think also, slick drive by Travis Henry as well. Not always easy to punch out of there when you got a horse with all kinds of speed to your outside. He put Beach Tour in the pocket, and that was the difference in the race.
My third and fourth choices were Up Joey's Credit and Aussie the second, so although I flipped the top two, at least I got the next two in, and they're at nice prices.
Look at this, off to a good start. Maybe you're gonna get hot tonight, Gary.
Would have been nicer with Murray's Watching on top, but Beach Tour looked like the one. Back in front of us, though, Murray's Watching is in the winner's circle. 3-year-old He's Watching Bay Gelding by M&S Racing and Yolanda Fellows. Robert Kyle Fellows, the trainer. Travis Henry is the winning driver. It's the third win this year, fifth lifetime. Murray's Watching, 155 flat. The first race payouts won Murray's Watching, 510-220. and 210. 3 Beach Tour 210, 210. 6 up Joey's Credit 270. And $2 race actor 940. Dollar try 22.85. Dollar super 37.15. Fans note in race number 4 scratched is number 9 Hogwash. Race 4 scratch 9 Hogwash. The first race over a finish from the top 152.463. That's 152.463 in the bottom.
Murray's watching, getting the job done in the opening dash. Decent price too, at 3-2. I think a lot of tickets may have hit the floors, including mine, that may have been singled on Beach Tour there in the opening dash. But the good news for me and for you, if you're not alive, even if you are alive, is that the early pick four starts right here in race number 2. Guaranteed pool $2,500. Low takeout 15%. And I usually keep it pretty close to the way I play my pick 5. And the numbers are going to be the same. But right here in race 2, the 2, 3, and 6, that's Sunseeker, Julio Get the Stretch, and Domino Sealster. Gary almost talked me into the 1 Silverback Jack when he was breaking down his pick 5 ticket. So maybe add that one. But I've got 2, 3, 6 here in the opening leg. 3, 5, 6 in race number 3. Sunny Beach Boy. I love the class relief inside draw for him. Uh, Relentless and DM Snake Plissken are 2 you have to have in the ticket as well. I think that's the 5 and the 6. So 3 deep in there. So we're 3 by 3. And then in race 4, we got 2-year-olds. Colts and Geldings on the pace. Looks like a competitive looking dash. I do give the edge to the 3 cold beer calling. Love the way he's been racing for Daryl Laver. Nose on gate tonight after the trailing post last time. Tough trip too, first over. He might try to make his own luck tonight from that good post position. I like his chances, but using the 3, 4, 5, and 6, like I said earlier, though, I might play a couple of Daryl Laver singles in races 4 and 5 on some tickets because my single in race 5 is Take Your Breath Away, the 9. I've always been fond of this mare. I think she's the class of the field, and I think she raced fantastic last time to be third. Again, the line doesn't really do it justice. Visually, though, it was impressive. And third at 19-1 to Carson Scooter, 2 Pistol Annie. I think she comes with a big effort here at the River tonight from that trailing post. $7.20, same cost of the pick 5 ticket I had because we started off with a single. That didn't work out. But you got a couple minutes to map out your winning wagers for this early pick 4 sequence. Guaranteed pool $2,500, low takeout 15%. Be back in just a few moments to take a closer look at race number 2.
Field 4 race number 2 is on parade. 1 Silverback Jack, Colin Kelly for Brett Lester and Marissa Wilson. And number 2 is Sunseeker, Jay Harris for Jim Stewart and Gregory Mason. Number 3 is Julio Get the Stretch, Brett Madonna for Dr. Trevin Shive and Laverne Turnbull. Number 4 is Southwind Grizzly, Clayton Graham for Judith Graham and Rosalie Graham. 5, Dusty Lane Morgan Anthony Hunt for Tom Janot. And number 6, Domino Silcher, Travis Denver for Cassidy Schneider and Robert Sims Jr. Field of 6, race number 2. Let's get a look at this field, and well, we're going to start off with number 3, Julio Get the Stretch, and second start for Dr. Trevin Shive. Both Kenny and I did not use this one high up on the ticket, but you are in on the 3, and the fans are betting 3, Julio Get the Stretch.
Yeah, I just thought it was a nice effort last time out. Returning or coming here from the Loop in Manitoba, and had missed a decent amount of time too, right? Over 3 weeks, anyways, between starts. and I thought that was a decent effort to be second to HF Patrick, and it was beat by more than 3 lengths at 7-1. But now you get that start, under his belt. Going to race back now, on short rest anyways. But I don't mind that when they miss some time, and this looks like a good spot for him. I didn't think this was a spot that really seemed that difficult, and maybe a bit softer than that race at Flamborough, to be perfectly honest, just pound for pound. So 2-1 on the board right now. No surprise, Gary, that he's taking all kinds of support, and I think he gets the job done in here.
And I think H.F. Patrick's a fairly good measuring stick because I like him, but the rest of the field, I think it fits what you described. And, number 6, Domino Sealster, now outside post position. And if Domino Sealster had an inside post, it might have gone there, but just not sure how it works out. But, Domino Sealster is your second choice. Has 4 wins, though, in 14 starts.
Does, yeah, and those 2 recent victories for Casualty Schneider were really nice ones. They were big efforts, and the most recent one where he won by more than 4 lengths was easy as pie. And then he took a step up in class, significant step up in class, to go against the likes of Beach Tour actually, and kind of got away last off the gate. Ended up finishing 6th, but the next start, obviously wasn't a good one, and that's why I thought maybe we get an overlay on Domino Sealster tonight. Kind of got away 6th off the gate. Now there was a huge second quarter breather in that one, so he's at a pace disadvantage. Wasn't able to make up any ground though as the odds-on favorite. But if he comes back to those victories, like anything close to those ones, I think he can blow this field away. And Travis Henry showed he's in it to win it, right? He's in the driver's title race. He moved within 2 wins of the lead right now, and I think we're going to see him, trying to rack up the victories tonight to get towards the top of that race.
Well, certainly Jay Harris could be in it to win it as well. Now look at Sunseeker did give up the lead fairly easily last race, but Gascoigne Sunday is one that every once in a while steps up with a monstrous effort. I actually think that wasn't as bad as you might think. That effort, the way he was second beaten 4.5 and could come back in here. I like Sunseeker a lot in this spot, and I think he's going to go to the front again. We'll see how it works out. And I love getting 5-1 if it was to hold. I also have a lot of regard for Jim Stewart.
Yeah, I do too. I love the barn, and I don't think it was a poor effort at all last time. I thought he raced well to be second. I mean, at the end of the day, like you said, Gascoigne Sunday was just much the best on that occasion. He ran into a better horse, and again, you're the best of the rest, right? So, and now he faces a group that's void of that one, so he should be in it throughout. Lots of really speed to work with, and like you said, Jay Harris, he's the pace setter right now in the driver's title. He wants to take it home.
Yeah, and I think he has a decent shot at it. And also, I like that race September the 8th, just beaten by Better Than Cash, because I think Better Than Cash measures up really well in this class, and he was just beaten 3/4 in that one. So, 2 or 3 good races in the past 4 starts.
Yeah, definitely has been. Like I said, Sunseeker for me is a major threat in here, and probably the overlay on the board right now. I did not see Silverback Jack taking this support. I know you do like him in here. I think you can get a piece of it, but 8-5 to me is way too short. And even Domino Sealster, off those efforts, way too short of a price. But the money coming in on it might be a good sign.
I got to admit, with Silverback Jack, I wouldn't want him at 8-5 because he hasn't been consistent, but you've seen him be better. He popped up with a huge effort here at the end of August, and then last race was pretty good considering post 6.
Yeah, I guess the big drawback for me, right, that 1 for 28 this year. I know you've kind of talked about that as well. 1 for 26 last year. He did come up with that big effort for the victory. But again, can he replicate that tonight against this group? That's the big question. But 8-5 on the board again, that's just much too short for me.
He is taking a lot of coin. His last race was decent, but we'll see. 9-5 is tight, but I have Sunseeker at 4-1, and you have Julio get the stretch at 7-2. So we both get reasonable prices here. It is Silverback Jack and Sunseeker on the inside. On the center, Julio get the stretch. Southwind Grizzly to the outside. Dusty Lane Morgan and Domino Sealster. It is a field of 6 for the second dash on a gorgeous Friday night as we are gathered at the river. Here they come. Field for the second race. is at the start of the rough. Sunseeker, Julio get the stretch. Dusty Lane Morgan, Silverback Jack, and then Southwind Grizzly and Domino Sealster. Sunseeker and Julio get the stretch. Wants to try to come on and get to the front. And on the inside, Sunseeker, but Julio get the stretch now. Is going to come on and grab the lead. Sunseeker is going to race the pocket. Silverback Jack is third. Dusty Lane Morgan is fourth. And then Southwind Grizzly and Domino Sealster. Julio get the stretch at 4-1 has the lead, and Sunseeker is filling the pocket. Silverback Jack is third. Then it is Dusty Lane Morgan, Southwind Grizzly, and Domino Sealster. And they work on around the turn, 27-2. And Julio get the stretch in Brett McDonald. Sunseeker Jay Harris in the pocket. Silverback Jack is racing third on the inside as they come off the turn. Then Dusty Lane Morgan is positioned fourth, and now Domino Sealster to the outside. And then it is back to Southwind Grizzly. 27-2 opening quarter and a 57-1 halftime, so a 29-4 second panel breather. And that is Julio get this stretch and Sunseeker in the pocket. Silverback Jack now to the outside, wants to push the issue. Silverback Jack, the 6-5 betting favorite, is coming on the outside, and Silverback Jack is flying on the outside, and now it's easily going to go by Julio get the stretch. Domino Sealster on the outside, and Domino Sealster is now taking over second. Julio get the stretch, is dropping back. Sunseeker's blocked on the inside. Dusty Lane Morgan takes over third, and then fourth is Julio got the stretch, and then Sunseeker gets out now, but has a lot of work to do, and then Southwind Grizzly and Silverback Jack leads it right now by 2 1/4. Domino Sealster is second on. Down the stretch, Rob, they come. Silverback Jack. And they're all back of Silverback Jack, and Colin Kelly wins it going away. Domino Sealster second. Dusty Lane Morgan, Sunseeker fourth, 155-1. Silverback Jack, before the end of August, had an over, now has 2 wins, and that was an explosive effort, Rob.
Yeah, so about those big efforts from Silverback Jack, we just saw one. That was a monstrous effort. Now, obviously, my top choice, one that I was fond of in there, he kind of short and stride abruptly, and that helped him get to the lead. It doesn't matter. It wasn't like he went out there and waltzed through fractions at the end of the race there. He bangs home pretty good. Miles 55-1. He's sprinting through the wire. And, we're talking about the driver and trainer races. Well, Colin Kelly's in it too, right? He's in with a chance. So he now gets himself closer to the top, and Brett Lester, I think now takes sole possession of the lead on the training side. So major implications with this victory here. Silverback Jack, and like you said, that's a monstrous effort. I mean, Domino Sealster, I thought raced fantastic in defeat, and he got beat by open lengths.
Yeah, and well, just a nice effort. But Silverback Jack comes up with a career best mile of 55-1, which is 1 3/5 seconds faster than his best win lifetime. So that measures Silverback Jack, and why we weren't just quite sure that he'd come up to that, but that was explosive.
It was, yeah, and the horse has been camera shy, but he hits the board with frequency. And tonight, getting handled aggressively certainly helped things out with him. And Colin Kelly now actually goes to a tie for the lead for the driver's title. So that's, like I said, we're going to see these guys out there likely putting every horse into play, right? If they're in the hunt for it, and that's what Colin did there with Silverback Jack, and ended up being much the best.
But I was mindful that it was Brett Lester and Colin Kelly, strong connections, and this horse did pop up looking better of late. That's why I used him for second and used him on the pick 5 and thought, well, just in case Sunseeker. Look, Sunseeker got blocked badly, so it's hard to say much about that effort.
Yeah, you can give him a pass on that. We'll come back to him, right? That's gonna be a trip that doesn't really show up in the line all that well, and better than it certainly is going to look on paper. But Gary, you were right to use this one, and look at that. Yours truly dead in the pick 5, dead in the pick 4.
Well, hey, there's the pick 3 and the third.
Yeah, it always is, right? Turn the page.
Back in front of us is one Silverback Jack and Colin Kelly. 4-year-old better than Cheddar, Greg Gelding. Oh, by Marissa Wilson of Elmira. Brett Lester, the trainer. Colin Kelly, the winning driver. Second win this year. Third lifetime. Silverback Jack. 155-1. The second race payouts: one silverback jack, 470, 280, and 210. Six domino silver, 330, 290, and five Dusty Lane Morgan, $4. $2 exactor, $19.70. Dollar try, $38.30. Dollar super, $74.10. And the double of 1 and 1, $20.80. Fans note, in race number 3, number 8, Bud Lightning, the driver is going to be Anthony Hahn. Anthony Hahn will drive a Bud Lightning in the third. The second race over a finish from the top, 146,532. That's 146,532. Field 4, race number 3 on parade. One all bets on Fritz Terry. Fritz drives and trains and owns. Number 2, Playing Bad. Lormer McClure for Martin Kepfer. Number 3, Sunny Beach Boy. Jay Harris for Jerry Duford and Homestretch Holdings and Lloyd and Barbara Tiley. 4 is scratch. 5, Relentless. Travis Henry for Cassidy Schneider and Colonel Schneider Jr. Number 6, DM Snake Plissken. Tyler Moore for Don Lindsay and Derek Watson. Number 7, DA Lunchbox. Garrett Rooney for Patrick Bissett and Kevin Kerr and Sean O'Brien. And 8 is Bud Lightning Anthony Hahn for Katarina Bosniak and JJ Stables. Field of 7, race number 3. Let's get a look at some of the main players in here. And Rob, your top one, number 3, Sunny Beach Boy. If it comes in that way, well, then I get knocked out of the pick 5. But boy, when you look at who Sunny Beach Boy has been racing in, and that race 2 starts ago, third, Wizard of Bots was second. That's a nice measuring stick. And then last race, Wizard of Bots and Island Attitude, the top 2. So Sunny Beach Boy moving down could bounce back.
Yeah, I think that's really the name of the game for him here, and that inside draw too, right? I mean, post 3 for him might as well be an inside draw because he's got all kinds of speed off the gate. We've seen that from him before, and like you said, last 2 efforts, Wizard of Bots, Island Attitude. Before that, Ozzy the second was a winner in the class above this. He finished a decent third. Mohawk Park ahead of that, and then some real nice efforts at this level, including a victory on August the 4th. So I just thought that this looks like a really good spot to see him go out and try to win things on the front end, try to chop it out, and at worst maybe sit a 2-hole trip, 5-2, hoping that price holds. I don't want anything less than that though.
Now, I should mention, and you know this, I always take a guess on who you will have on top. I guessed it was 5, Relentless.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, it was a toss-up in the end, and I went to who I thought would be better value. It's not playing out that way right now. I actually thought just because sometimes with recency, right? People look at that last line, Sunny Beach Boy, even though it's a class above this, got beat by a wide margin, 58-1. They might go a different direction. And you've got Relentless with 3 straight victories at Hanover. I actually thought he might be the hot pot favorite on here with that kind of backing him up. He's actually all kinds of value right now at 3-1 because those were impressive wins over at Hanover, and he's likely going to try to show that early foot here now at the river. And it helps too that the 4 babies Piglet is scratched, so he's going to start right beside Sunny Beach Boy and likely blast off with that one.
Well, and I also know that you've often been a member of Team Schneider, so that's why I thought you'd be going in that direction. And look at number 6, DM Snake Plissken, post 7 last time out. Did that stop him from winning? No.
No, it didn't, and it was one of those ones where it was, you knew he was kind of winning at every point as long as he got the room that he needed, right? And he got that in the end. I think that he was a much bigger margin better than that group than the half a length that it shows up in the program. But again, it kind of came down to the trip scenario. He's one that doesn't always pace the prettiest, but he does have some serious gears, and we've seen that throughout his 5 career starts here at the River. He's been no worse than second, and I think that when he kind of gets all that stuff sorted out, I mean, he's going to even be a better racehorse, and he's already showing he can do good things over this surface. So moves in a spot to post 5 now with a scratch of the 4 babies Piglet, and he's already also proven that he can overcome outside draws. He's never really had a good draw as of yet, and had a tricky one tonight that gets a little bit better.
And talk about overcoming outside draws. That's what number 7, DA Lunchbox, is going to have to do. It certainly is bringing in lots of form.
Yeah, he's a horse that I jumped all over September 3rd at Clinton. He was my single in a pick 5 ticket on that occasion there. It didn't work out in the end, but he sure won like a good thing. Followed it up with a defeat as the favorite last time in Sarnia, but I don't think he's out of this, right? I thought he was a real improving type, and the post is difficult tonight, and he's got some good horses to his inside, but I wouldn't leave him off the exotics, especially at 17-1.
Well, he gets to move in one spot, and it is Garrett Rooney, Patrick Bissett, strong connections. But it's all bets on Fritz on the inside, playing bad. And then in the center, Sunny Beach Boy, Brad Latlis, and DM Snake Plissken. To the outside, DA Lunchbox and Bud Lightning. It's a field of 7 for the third. They're in the stretch. Gathering speed. They're at the start of the rough. Sunny Beach Boy is going to blast out and playing bad. Relentless and all bets on Fritz on the inside. Then DM Snake Plissken. Then DA Lunchbox and Bud Lightning. And the field works around the turn. All bets on Fritz is able to grab the lead. And playing bad is still playing on the outside. Sunny Beach Boy is third away. Relentless is racing fourth. Then DM Snake Plissken and DA Lunchbox and Bud Lightning. But all bets on Fritz at 22-1. And Terry Fritz, long shot, leads to the opening quarter, 28 seconds, and playing bad is playing from a close pocket position. Sunny Beach Boy now is getting up a little bit closer, and Relentless is going to follow Sunny Beach Boy to the outside. Sunny Beach Boy now is looking to shine first over. Relentless follows Sunny Beach Boy, and DM Snake Plissken to the outside. Then DA Lunchbox and back to Bud Lightning, and Sunny Beach Boy is trying to collar the lead from all bets on Fritz. Sunny Beach Boy driving hard, trying to clear it up, and moving already is Relentless, and down to the inside is all bets on Fritz. All bets on Fritz now finds the turn, and is trying to fend off Sunny Beach Boy. And now out 3 wide goes Relentless as they work their way into the backstretch and on the inside playing bad. And then DM Snake Plissken is getting up a little bit closer now, but it's still all bets on Fritz who's got the lead. Sunny Beach Boy, Relentless is 3 wide playing bad on the inside. And DM Snake Plissken, Relentless 3 wide, Sunny Beach Boy, center of the track, all bets on Fritz. DM Snake Plissken, TA Lunchbox is in the hunt, and playing bad is on the inside. 3/4, 127-2, and it is Relentless, but looming is DM Snake Plissken. Sunny Beach Boys drop back. It is Relentless and DM Snake Plissken. Here comes DM Snake Plissken. The Lunchbox is closing the head on the inside. Trying to hold on is Relentless. DM Snake Plissken is going to drive on by and win it. Relentless second, then DA Lunchbox third, and playing bad fourth, 157-1. That's what you call a horse race, Rob.
You just took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to say, well, we just saw a horse race, and that's exactly what it was, Gary. You know, they're stacked up 3 wide, pretty much the entire length of the backside for the second time there. And even early on, you know, I thought that Sunny's Beach Boy was going to be able to just float out to the lead. Didn't happen when the inside 2. They decided to wage war in the early stages. Then they lined up, and then Sunny Beach Boy comes first over, and then the battles ensued right from there on out. And obviously DM Snake Plissken, one that we've seen race really well from off the pace or just off the pace. He's the benefactor of it. But you can see here, Tyler Moore's just kind of got him wrapped up to the wire. We've seen this horse kind of progress right before our eyes, Gary. He's kind of, you know, gotten better, regressed a little bit, you know, in a couple of those starts when he kind of had some issues pacing. He looks a lot smoother tonight, though. And is a horse that's a nice start to his career now, 6 starts and 6 top 2 finishes.
And you know, I mean, that race is made when Jay Harris, he didn't just come first up. I mean, he tried to swamp all bets on Fritz, which probably was a smart move. It's not a guaranteed move, and he couldn't quite get by all bets on Fritz as the turn came up, which helped him as they got past the half.
Yeah, it's listen. I never will ever begrudge a driver for being aggressive and trying to, you know, go out there and win and do what's in the best interest of winning. You can sit, try to get a piece of it, and hope things open up. But instead, you know what? I like it when you got one on top, especially you're playing one when they're put in a position to win, and that's what he did with Sunny's Beach Boy. Didn't work out tonight, and I think, you know, his preferred trip is likely cutting it or in the 2-hole. Not a horse that I think wants to do a lot of the you know, the legwork and take a lot of air. But in any event, I think DM St. Plissken raced pretty well, and DA Lunchbox one, you know, we'll keep him, you know, in the mix going forward wherever he ends up, because I think he's got some ability, and I thought it was a decent effort tonight to get a piece of it.
Yeah, it comes in with some outside posts because the inside kind of heated it up early and opened the door, and DM Snake Plissken sitting right in behind them said, yeah, I'll take that, thank you very much. Back in the winner's circle is DM Snake Plissken, a 4-year-old better than Cheddar Bay Gelding, but Derek Watson, trained by Don Lindsay. Tyler Moore is the winning driver. It's the second win for DM Snake Plissken, second in a row. Tyler Moore and DM Snake Plissken at 157-1. The third race payouts 6DM Snake Plissken, 440, 260, 290. 5 Relentless, 320 and 240, and 78 Lunchbox, 530. $2 exactor, 1040. $1 try, 123.45. $1 super, 255.20. Third race, order of finish from the top down, 645, scratch to 137. That's 645, scratch to 137 on the bottom. And while I have a moment, I'd like to wish a welcome to Jerry Smith and family here this evening. Hope you're enjoying your night at the track. Jerry Smith and family here on a Friday night, gathered at the river. Field for race number 4 on parade 1 is DA Magic Mike, Paul McKenzie versus Sean Stacy and Landmark 16 Racing and David Reed and Hudson Standabred. Number 2 Elise Seals for Anthony Hahn for Anthony Beaton and Mac and Carol Nickel. Number 3 Cold Beer Calling, Brett McDonald for Daryl Laver and Rick Ryer and Leanne Davidson. Number 4 Price Control, Sammy Fillion for Jean Tournier and Roland Trudel. And 5 Zippin' and Rippin', Travis Henry for Blake McIntosh and Hut Racing. Number 6 Bet on Sunshine, Garrett Rooney for Paul Ritchie. Number 7 Mr. Yeah, Colin Kelly for Clark Bilby and Coyote Wind Farms. 8 is Freight Air, Jay Harris for Jack Darling Stables, and 9 is scratched. Field of 8, race number 4. Let's get a look at these 2-year-old colts and geldings, maiden pacers, and well, we're going to start with number 3, Cold Beer Calling, equipment change, blind, bridle to blinkers, and my first question to you, Rob, with Cold Beer Calling, is he going to be a draft beer here, or is he going to belly up to the bar and fire right to the front and take the lead?
I think it's the latter of the two tonight. I really do. Nose back on Gate Gary, and I think with that equipment change, we're going to see him handled a lot more aggressively. Getting away 5th from the trailing post. Sometimes just the way it kind of plays out. He then rushed the leader and kind of lived on the outside before getting beat by DM Snake Plissken. So that's a pretty good form reference when that one goes out and kind of wins with ease just now in the class above this. And I just think that you're looking at him now getting in against fellow 2-year-olds. A lot of boxes being ticked, right? His form's been improving ever since he got to the barn of Daryl Laver. 3 straight on the board finishes. And again, if he can show some gears off the switch tonight, even better for him. And 5-2, that I think is more than a fair price. I kind of expected 5-2 or 2-1, and was happy to have him on top.
Number 6 Bet on Sunshine, well, got in between DM Snake Plissken and Cold Beer Calling last time out. And certainly that was a nice improvement off of the that last line at Mohawk. The one before it was okay, but the last one finishing 8th.
Yeah, that Bet on Sunshine raced really well. Second over behind the top choice, Cold Beer Calling, and ended up finishing second, beating half a length. And obviously Mohawk Park, right? They're going to go much quicker. And the effort 3 back there was a good one, finishing 4th and 55-1. And another horse that's kind of, I think, made strides forward for trainer Paul Ritchie, and now getting another chance here at the River and against fellow 2-year-olds only going to further help his chances. 6-1. I'm surprised the price on Bet on Sunshine. I guess you can't have support go in every direction, but I thought he would be bet more here, especially if you do like Cold Beer Calling. You got to like the one that kind of finished right alongside that one last time and got the better of him, even though the trip scenarios was obviously a much better one for Bet on Sunshine. But I think he deserves more respect than 6-1 in the odds board right now.
Number 4 Price Control is interesting to handicap because that was a good start here 2 races ago. And then your thoughts on that last race at Mohawk?
Well, I mean, the last one at Mohawk, he's 70-1, right? He's got pose 5. He gets away 8th off the gate against a pretty solid group, and ends up getting beat by a wide margin, right? I think sometimes you're trying to see what you got. Probably they see those improved efforts, right? Like he goes to Georgian, finishes 3rd, as the favorite. Then he only gets beat by a slim margin here at the River, so they probably want to see, okay, well, maybe we'll try him back at the big track. It didn't work out. Still came home a decent back half and whatnot, but was never in contention at any point. But this is much more to his liking now, right? This field, it should be right up his alley, and I think he should get a big piece of it.
Number 5 Zippin' and Rippin' is an unknown in here, but you saw the qualifiers, and I wouldn't be shocked if he steps up here with a big effort.
Yeah, he's the kind of the interesting one, right? Like when you're looking at this race and you see all kinds of horses that kind of make logical sense based on the way they've been racing. You've got one coming into it off a decent qualifier last time out, $18,000 yearling purchase. and from a barn that I respect. So I think he's in with a chance. I just thought that you might need a start or two under his belt before he's ready for his best. But if he won tonight, I would not be surprised.
Well, it is a field of 8 for race number 4, and both Rob and I are wanting some cold beer, as well as a lot of fans. 8 to 5 and cold beer calling. It's DA Magic Mike, Leach Sealster. Cold beer calling to the inside of the center. Price control and zipping and ripping. And to the outside, bet on Sunshine, Mr. Yeah, 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 and Freight Air. Field of 8, race number 4. And right now, Mr. Yeah, yeah, yeah is well back at the start. They're at the start of the rough in price control. Cold beer calling and bet on Sunshine and lead Sealster, but cold beer calling is going to drive right out and take the front. Price control is racing second and is going to squeeze into the pocket. Then lead Sealster third. Bet on Sunshine fourth. DA Magic Mike back to zipping and ripping, and Freight Air and way back trailing Mister. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cold beer calling bellied up to the bar and took the lead, and price control is racing second. Lead Sealster third. Bet on Sunshine is fourth, and then DA Magic Mike back to zipping and ripping, and Freight Air is seventh. 28 and 2 the opening quarter, and Cold Beer calling, and then price control is drafting on the back of Cold Beer calling, and lead Sealster is third. Then it is Bet on Sunshine. Freight Air now is moving in the two wide path. On the inside is DA Magic Mike, and then it is back to zipping and ripping, but right now it is Cold Beer calling who's got the front. Price control is in the pocket as they work their way up towards and past the half. 59 second halftime, 30 and 3 second panel breather. Cold Beer calling. And on the inside, racing position second. Price control leads Sealster. Bet on Sunshine's going to move to the outside, and DA Magic Mike goes off stride. On down the back stretch they go. Cold Beer calling. Price control. Bet on Sunshine working on the outside third, but has work to do because Cold Beer calling looks sharp on top. Price control has moved up a little tighter in the pocket. Bet on Sunshine third. Lead Sealster fourth. 128 for three quarters. And Cold Beer calling gets a couple of taps now by Brett McDonald to keep on going because price control is still there within striking distance. It is Cold Beer calling and price control as they turn on down the lane. Cold Beer calling and Brett McDonald is calling for more because on the outside price control is gonna roll on by and win it. Cold Beer calling second, lead Sealster third, and then finishing fourth was Bet on Sunshine. Price control got a nice trip on the back of Cold Beer calling, but when it mattered was able to blast on by.
Yeah, he sure did. It was one of those ones where you could kind of see him swelling up in the pocket. Cold Beer calling, he looked a little bit green a couple times too in the lead there. Kind of looked like he maybe was leaping over something on the backside, but you could see, he kind of short and stride a little bit on the turn there, and you've got price control just kind of barreling out of the pocket with all kinds of pace, and it's what we kind of mentioned, right? That last time out, you're facing much tougher at Mohawk Park, probably trying to see what they've got there, and wasn't able to go with those, but was more the competitive, in the Prospect Series 2 back, and now gets back against palatable competition and goes out and absolutely crushes on the end of that mile there. I mean, that was pretty impressive, that kick home there. But yeah, 2-1 morning line, Gary, but goes off at 9-2 because the support went in the direction of Cold Beer calling.
And it was the logical support, but price control gets the trip. But he didn't just get by. I mean, he really blasted on by. I guess that measuring stick is that Prospect Series, which, is a tougher field than what Cold Beer calling was in last time out. And price control certainly was good in that start two races and came right back to it here.
Yeah, he did. He sure did. It was a good effort. I mean, you obviously get the benefit of that two hole trip there behind one that was very alive tonight. I mean, you even said it right. Cold Beer calling looked fantastic on the lead, for much of that mile, and certainly didn't race poorly, right? You look at his lines; he's never been a horse that's had the lead before, so this is all new to him now, right? And I think that's why a couple of times he's a little bit green on the engine, but I think he'll probably come back better for it after chopping that one out. And price control though gets in, maiden breaking score and does so in fine fashion at 9-2.
And we get Leach Sealster and Bet on Sunshine. I threw Leach Sealster on the ticket. Team Anthony from a decent post, so they get on the ticket at 7-1. But it is price control Two-year-old Control the Moment Brown Gelding. Back in front of us in the winner's circle, Jean Tourigny and Roland Trudel are the owners. Jean Tourigny, the trainer. Sammy Fillion, the winning driver. First win for Price Control, 157-1. The fourth race payouts for Price Control, 1130, 460, 330. 3 Cold Beer Calling, 340, 250. 2 Lead Sealster, 390. $2 Exactor, $32. Dollar Try, $69.95. $1 Super, $156.50. The fourth race order finish from the top down. 732-15486 scratch. That's 732-15486 scratch. Field 4, race number 5 on parade 1. Tesla Power, Damian McClellan for Neil McInnes and Cliss Brothers Stable. Number 2 is Random Aragio, Travis Henry for John Kennedy and Valerie Phillips. Number 3 is Broken Todd Ratchford for Ratchford Racing. Four is Maddie's Credit, Colin Kelly for Cassidy Schneider. Number 5, Faithful's Nola Garrett Rooney for Ernest Nucio. Number 6, Jane Diamond, Andre Goy for Gino Toscani. Number 7, Stonebridge Drama, Samuel Filion for Gerard Damaris and Allison Hepburn and Sean Brisebois. Number 8 is Nora D. Paul McKenzie for Matt Dupuis, 8th Line Investments. And 9 is Take Your Breath Away, Brett McDonough for Daryl Lever and Randy Zock. Field of 9, race number 5. Final leg of the pick 5, and this dash features the super high 5, so let's see if we can squeeze in 5 that we can take home this high 5. And well, we'll start with 9, Take Your Breath Away, trailer post, but is certainly getting bet appropriately, or at least getting bet solidly 5-2.
Yeah, I thought she would even take more support than that, Gary, because I think she's the class of the field. I really believe that, and she's been racing, against some pretty solid competitors as of late, even taking on male competition in several of her recent races, and got the better of her own kind when she got back to race against the girls at Sarnia August the 12th, and then 2 back at Mohawk Park. She went to the lead a long way in the front end before fading back to 6th. Set some pretty hot fractions early on in that one. I thought last time was an effort that I'll call it an underrated effort, because on paper it might not look as impressive as it was visually, but she was really trying hard right to the wire in a race won by Carson Scuda. Well, I think we would be more than happy to back Carson Scuda in here, and 2 Pistol Annie was second, but she wasn't too far behind them, just 2 lengths back of the winner, 27-1 on the end of it. Back half 55-1. So 3-1 to me is a massive price on Take Your Breath Away. Trailing post is obviously something she has to overcome, but she's a horse that I've always seen kind of thrive when she is on the rim, off a helmet, or even if she has to take air. So I'm in her camp tonight, and we'll gladly take the 3-1 right now.
Number 4, Maddie's Credit, your second choice. I got a couple alive here in the pick 5, but if there's one that's going to cause me to not cash, I think Maddie's Credit's the one I'm most worried about.
Yeah, I think that she's in with a chance here, because we know the name of her game, right? When she goes to the front, and we see those lines very recently here, or August the 4th anyways, she blew them away on the engine, and was much the best that came, at this at the level, a level above this. Actually, we're back in the bottom condition now, so this is a softer spot from that one. There's some time between starts, about 3 weeks between starts after being a judge's scratch last time out. But the start before that, I mean, she goes a long way on the engine in Sarnia and gets beat by Armour Sealster. Armour Sealster is, first of all, she faced the boys in that one, and Armour Sealster I would gladly back against this group. So I think Maddie's Credit's in with a big chance. Just depends how aggressively she gets handled, right? The time between starts is a bit of a concern, but if she does her thing on the engine tonight, she might leave everyone else without a chance.
That time between starts is the only reason that I stepped away, because I have a lot of regard for this mare. Number 7, Stonebridge Drama, well, tougher post, but also gets a better spot, gets away from Mohawk, and this is one that's a proven winner.
Yeah, another one's missed a bit of time, but she's done good things against some decent mares at Mohawk Park at times. She picks up a lot of pieces as well. You see, the on the board finishes might not look that impressive, but she picks up a lot of checks, and if she can overcome post 7 tonight, 13-1's not a bad price on her.
And your quick thoughts on the 2 on the inside, Random Aragio and Tesla Power.
Random Aragio 19-1. I mean, to me, she's a horse that can raise her game up to the preferred level on the B's when she's on her game, and there's reasons to like her here, right? Racing back on a regular rotation, so 19-1 on her is a massive overlay, and I wouldn't begrudge anyone for trying her at that price. Tesla Power, I mean, last time she was a second at this level, I knocked her because she's a younger, filly against older horses. Similar kind of spot for me tonight. I think she even faced a tougher group this time around. So I think that she's in with a chance, obviously from the pole position. But yeah, I think there's some good ones in here.
It's Tesla Power. Random Aragio on the inside with Broken. In the center, Maddie's Credit, Faithful's Nola, and Jane Diamond to the outside, Stonebridge Drama, Nora D, and Take Your Breath Away. It is a field of 9, the fifth dash. Here they come. And the field for the fifth race is at the start in the rough. And getting out well, Maddie's Credit, Random Aragio, Stonebridge Drama to the outside, Tesla Power, Take Your Breath Away as the field works around the turn. Maddie's Credit has the early lead, and Tesla Power is right tight on the back of Maddie's Credit. And then racing on the outside, Random Aragio, Faithful's Nola, and then Take Your Breath Away has a spot on the inside fifth now. And that is in front of Broken, Stonebridge Drama, then Jane Diamond and Nora D is trailing the field. Maddie's Credit has the lead. Random Aragio is racing second. Tesla Power, Faithful's Nola, and Take Your Breath Away. Mid-pack 5. Then it is back to Broken, Stonebridge Drama, Jane Diamond, and Nora D is last. 28 seconds the opening quarter. Maddie's Credit leads the charge off the turn and rolls on towards us. Random Aragio is getting a nice trip on the back of Maddie's Credit. Tesla Power on the inside third, moving up a bit. Now Take Your Breath Away is going to take it first over and move up aggressively. Faithful's Nola's on the inside. Broken is moved out. And then Stonebridge Drama back to Jane Diamond. Nora D has a lot of work to do. And on the lead still Maddie's Credit. Random Aragio is second. Tesla Power to the inside is racing third. Take Your Breath Away might have flattened out from fourth, and Faithful's Nola up the inside. Then Broken and Stonebridge Drama and Jane Diamond and Nora D. Three quarters, 125 and 1. Tesla Power has popped out from third, but has work to do because Maddie's Credit still looks good on the lead. Maddie's Credit and Random Aragio, Tesla Power, Faithful's Nola on the inside. Maddie's Credit as they turn from Random Aragio, and Tesla Power on down the stretch drive they come. Maddie's Credit, Random Aragio, Maddie's Credit, Random Aragio as they come to the finish. Maddie's Credit wins it. Random Aragio was second, then Tesla Power and Take Your Breath Away, and Stonebridge Drama 155 and 1. Well, Maddie's Credit, I said that's the one that I was the most worried about, and went to the front, and who cares about the 20 days off? Was able to go all the way.
Well, as soon as you see her leave off the gate like that, Gary, you know that it's game on for Maddie's Credit, and she went out there and absolutely, does what she does best, right? She chopped out solid fractions. She doesn't really take the foot off the accelerator. She keeps on rolling. You see Colin Kelly here getting after her to stay to her business here because she has missed a bit of time, right? So she might be a little bit short, but doesn't matter. She gets to the wire first over Random Aragio, who got absolutely hammered late because I guess someone must have listened that she was a massive overlay at like 19 to 1. Late in the betting because she went all the way down to 4 to 1. So had a perfect trip, ends up being a good second, and Tesla Power rounding it out. So we got those two inside horses, right, landing behind Maddie's Credit, but she did exactly what she's done here at the river in the past, Gary, when she gets down to reasonable spots, and she's so tough to beat in the lead. She really swells up on the engine.
This should be a good high five because Take Your Breath Away took the most action and had a shot on the outside, but just really didn't have it.
Yeah, she didn't really have it tonight. I mean, she kind of got bothered in the early going. Not that it really affected much, but she was trying to kind of stay tight to Tesla Power, and I think she kind of got bothered there when they got jammed up and lost a position or two. But it didn't matter in the end. Didn't really affect the outcome because she ended up just not having it tonight. She kind of stalled on the outside and faded out of it. So not like her, but I'm sure she'll be back with a better effort next time.
Well, you know who did have it tonight? Number 4, Maddie's Credit. A 10-year-old up the Credit Bay mare, owned by Colonel and Cassidy Schneider. Cassidy Schneider, the trainer. Colin Kelly is the winning driver. It's the 4th win this year, 21st lifetime. Maddie's Credit. Victorious in 155 and 1. The fifth race, payouts for Maddie's Credit, 890, 570, and 280. To Random Aragio, 573, 51. Tesla Power, $3. $2 exactor, 40, $50 try, 76.45. Dollar pick three, 72.75. Dollar win for 277.25. Dollar pick five, 775.40. Dollar high five, 704.60. The fifth race, or finish from the top down, 326 197 584. That's 326 197 584.
Maddie's Credit getting the job done in race number 5 to top the high 5 and close out both the pick 5 and the pick 4. The way she likes it best to on the engine, holds on. Nice victory for that one. But we're at the halfway point in the card, and that means race 6, and it's the start of the late pick 5. So another opportunity to bet one of those big multi-leg wagers that have a chance to get a big payout. And there's my ticket for this late pick 5 sequence. Starting off with a 2 and 4. I thought the logical ones here, right? Wizard of Bots, who was a winner last time, and held off Island Attitude, who's the 4 here. And Island Attitude, I thought was going to reel that one in. Wasn't able to do it, but they finished 1-2. And we're both kind of a decent price in there because the 5 better half took all the late support. That one's taking support again tonight. Right now it's 7-2, but the 4 Island Attitude is the favorite. I'm just going 2-4 in here. I'm going to use those two in the opening leg. Race number 7, the 1, 2, 5, and 6, kind of a competitive looking. Philly Mares claiming $7,000 race, and time waits on no one. One that I'm fond of, obviously fond of the barn too. Cassidy Schneider, 2 for 2 for that conditioner since they claimed her September the 3rd. But this is now an open claiming rank race, right? So I didn't want to go it alone with that one, even though I did exactly that 1 week ago. We're going 1, 2, 5, and 6. Going to use the inside 2, Big Bad Moose, all kinds of speed from post 2, and the 5 Fear the Smoothie kind of has me intrigued here. Getting second start after missing a bit of time, but has had some time between starts again. But just liking the fact that one's been racing and against open claiming company. Race 8, the 1 and 4 Ahoy, two shippers from Mohawk Park. Ahoy's getting way down in class, and we've seen her do good things here at the river in the past. So I think she's got a big chance from the rail. Salzburg Olympia, the 4, the other one I think you want to have in there. Race 9, just singling up on the 1 Docks Philly Cheese. Such a dominant winner in this class 2 back, August 11th. Missed some time between starts, and then trailing post overland journey last time out at Flamborough Downs didn't work out for him. I think he gets back into the win column though tonight. He'd won 3 in a row before that. Love his chances tonight in race number 9. He's our single, and then money leg, competitive looking Philly Mares claiming event again, condition claiming event. 1, 4, 5, 8, and 9. I'm going to put the 5 Edam Zelli on top, but I do think that there's quite a few in there that have a chance to win it. So 1, 4, 5, 8, and 9 in that final dash of the night. $16 for a 20-cent wager, all hinging on the 1 Docks Philly Cheese in race number 9. We're going to want to start to map out your winning wagers for this late pick 5 sequence, starting right here in race 6. Again, the takeout's always a low 15%, and we'll come back in just a few minutes to take a closer look at race number 6.
Field on post parade for race number 6-1. Brightside Dazzler, Daryl Thiessen for Rennie Barassa and Mark Jelena. Number 2, Wizard of Bots, Jay Harris for Kevin Bots. Number 3, Jim and Percy Ross Batten for Margaret Batten. There is 4, Island Attitude, Travis Henry for Chris Haskell and Don Schuldeis. 5 is Better Half, Denny St. Pierre, drives and trains and owns. Number 6, Pebble Beach Pro, Anthony Hunt for Scott McNiven and Kimberly McNiven and Thomas Broadhurst and Brad McNiven and Shirley Griffin. Number 7, he's sporty, Colin Kelly for Jim Ellis and Doreen Flynn. And there is now joining us 3, Jim and Percy Ross Batten. It's a field of 7 with the 8 being scratched. Let's get a look at this field. And Rob, this is an interesting dash because I think the 1, 2, and 4 are the main players in here, although 5 better half is taking some action, and understandably so. But, well, one bright side Dazzler comes in off of a couple of breaks, so might be a little bit more careful off the gate. I really want to see Wizard of Bots and Island Attitude, which one makes the early lead? And if you could, if I could wait till the 8th pole to bet, just give me the one that makes the lead.
Yeah, you want to be able to get into live betting on the race, right, Gary? Yeah, it's really, I mean, you look at the race, I mean, Brightside Dazzler can throw his hat into the ring, but you're right, off those breaks in stride. How aggressive is he going to be off the switch, especially from the pole position? Sometimes horses get crowded there. I think that, you're going to have Wizard of Bots blast out of there like he did last time. He ended up putting Island Attitude in the pockets. Maybe, Travis Henry drives on this time out, but you got both Jay Harris and Travis Henry in that in the mix for the driver's title. So it might line up the same way. And then it's going to come down to, can Island Attitude get there this time? Now, the one thing I will say is that, the reason why I went back to Island Attitude, even though he let me down last time, is the fact that we're back on that regular rotation now, right? Last time out, Wizard of Boss was racing on that regular schedule. Island Attitude was not, and we kind of said afterwards, maybe that's what it was that made up that half a length, at the end there, and why Island Attitude wasn't able to get there. Now he's got that regular schedule under his belt, and that's probably why he's 3-2 right now. So I thought that he'd likely play out to be the favorite again, and hopefully this time he can get the job done.
Well, considering how I view these two pretty closely, I'd be willing to take Wizard of Bots at 9-2 versus 7-5 all day long.
And you're right. I again, that's a good theory on it. I've got them using them both in the pick 5, which is kind of like an easy way out, I guess. When you think there's 2 equally matched horses, you're probably supposed to take a stand on one of them. And going with the bigger price is obviously the better idea, especially if you're betting the race vertically. At that point, you should definitely take the bigger price. So I think that you're right. 6-5 versus 9-2. You've got to go in the direction of 9-2. That's kind of an easy decision there. But they might tighten up, right, come post time. But I think no matter what, Island Attitude goes off as a favorite in here.
And then Brightside Dazzler on the inside. It is Daryl Teese and Rennie Barassa. Daryl's been driving really well of late. Rennie Barassa's strong barn. 4 wins in 6 starts. If it wasn't for those 2 breaks, of course, that's what everybody will be saying.
Yeah, that's kind of the big thing with him is that he guided him to that nice victory, even though there was that miscue 2 starts ago. But at the end of the day, even if you get the job done, you still got that break on your card. You make another one, you got to go to the qualifiers. He did that. He qualified successfully at Mohawk Park. But again, you don't want to get that 3rd break in a row. That's not something that you want to have happen to your racehorse. So I think that we'll see this one maybe get handled a little bit carefully tonight. But it's 5-2 on the board. He's taking support and he's taking it right from the get-go.
And 5 better halves taking a lot of support for one that's got only 2 top 3s and 18 starts this year. But the last start was better.
It was better. He got hammered last time, though. And if you remember, he sat 3rd behind, the 2 we thought it would come down to, and never really was able to throw his hat in the ring to challenge them. So I don't know what's going to change tonight, but here we are again. He's 5-2, and last time at this point, he had a truckload of money come in, and that ended up making him go off as the favorite. So maybe that happens again. I still think he's one to use underneath in the try and super. And Island Attitude at 2-1. I'm going to stay there. I think tonight, regular rotation, he gets the job done.
Well, and now Wizard of Bots is at 3-1, so they're fairly close. It's Brightside Dazzler, Wizard of Bots, and Jim and Percy on the inside. In the center, Island Attitude and better half. To the outside, Pebble Beach Pro, and he's sporty. It's a field of 7 for the 6th dash. Field for the 6th race. Into the stretch drive. Gathering speed approaching the start. They're at the start of the rough. Wizard of Bots is going to blast off the wings. Island Attitude, Brightside Dazzler on the inside. Jim and Percy and Pebble Beach Pro, but Wizard of Bots was strong early and quickly grabs the lead and is in front by 2.5 or 3 lengths. Island Attitude finds the pocket. Pebble Beach Pro on the outside now is going to slide over to the inside lane and be third in front of Brightside Dazzler. Then Jim and Percy in better half, and he's sporting now Wizard of Bots at 2-1. Wizard of Bots has the front. Island Attitude is 2-1 on the board as well, and those are your top two. Wizard of Bots leads by a length and 3/4, and Island Attitude tightening in the pocket. 28-2 the opening quarter. Pebble Beach Pro racing third, Brightside Dazzler. Jim and Percy, better half, and he's sporty. Wizard of Bots will now look for a second pedal breather off that 28-2 opening quarter. Wizard of Bots, Island Attitude, Pebble Beach Pro, racing third. Brightside Dazzler is going to work first over then. Jim and Percy, and better half, and he's sporty, is yet to be, is back trailing the field. They race their way into the backstretch. Wizard of Bots, Island Attitude is studying things from the pocket. Pebble Beach Pro is racing third. Brightside Dazzler on the outside has flattened out a little bit. Jim and Percy on the inside, and then back to better half. It is Wizard of Bots, and Island Attitude is right there looming from the pocket and is uptight nose to helmet. A little bit of urging by Jay Harris with Wizard of Bots, and now here comes Pebble Beach Pro, who is chipping away at the lead, and it is Wizard of Bots, Pebble Beach Pro. Island Attitude on the inside is right there close, but it is Wizard of Bots as they turn from 3/4, 127. Jim and Percy throws his hat into the ring. It is Wizard of Bots, Pebble Beach Pro, Island Attitude up the inside. Wizard of Bots and Island Attitude. Wizard of Bots is digging in. Wizard of Bots wins it. And then Pebble Beach Pro on the outside. On the inside was Island Attitude and Jim and Percy. 156-2. Wizard of Bots had enough left to get home and looked sharp at the finish, Rob.
Yeah, he sure did, and you know what? I guess you say where have we seen this movie before, right? He did it last time, and you get just a slightly lower price this time out. Same post, same strategy. Was really rolling early. Kind of got it looked like got a little bit lazy on the lead there on the final turn. I thought maybe Pebble Beach Pro might loop him. He was coming with a lot of momentum, and then he rebuffed that one, and then still had to deal with him again at the end there. That was a nice effort from Pebble Beach Pro. And Island Attitude, getting back at the regular rotation didn't matter. Tried to come out the passing lane late, just wasn't able to make any serious threat to Wizard of Bots this time around. But Pebble Beach Pro did. That was kind of interesting. But in a race, Gary, where we saw the action kind of going other, better half took support again, 3-1. Brightside Dazzler, 3-1. Wizard of Bots and Island Attitude both go off at 2-1, co-favorites. But I thought they'd be a lot shorter than that tonight.
Yeah, and did Wizard of Bots, did Jay Harris get him off the gate?
Oh yeah, no, he's and listen, Jay's one of the when you want to bet a horse that you think can get to the lead, or if you got a horse, you own one that you want on the front end, Jay can make them fly off the switch, and he did last time with Wizard of Bots. He did it again tonight, so. Yeah, he was really rolling early, and he left no doubt, right? Also made it easy for Island Attitude because there was such a gap there. He's easy to just kind of blast out and then drop in there. But even when he dropped into the pocket, it was a loose pocket. He was like 3 lengths behind, right, in the opening turn. That's how much he was rolling.
And Pebble Beach Pro is 0 in the win column this year and only 1 win last year, but I think we're going to see him get into the win column this year.
Yeah, I think so too. You see a lot of these horses coming out of the Prospect Series. They're coming out of that Prospect Series, and I guess form reference. Crazy World, It Takes Two. Those are some pretty good horses that he's been facing. But yeah, the Prospect Series kind of providing a solid form reference. We'll have to keep an eye on that.
Back in front of us, Wizard of Bots. 3-year-old Dally Bay gelding the winning drive to Jay Harris. The green arrow, and he was all arrows from the start to the finish. Kevin Bots is the trainer and owner. It's the 4th win this year in lifetime. Wizard of Bots and Jay Harrison won 56-2. The sixth race payout to Wizard of Bot, 620, 310, 240. 6 Pebble Beach Pro, 1770 and 750, and 4 Island Attitude, 290. $2 exactor, $143.30. Dollar try, $184.15. Dollar super, $1,577.95. The sixth race, order of finish from the top, 614-3527 scratch. That's 614-3527 scratch.
6 races in the books here at Grand River Raceway on the final Friday card of our season. Racing action will continue Monday and Wednesday with that Prospect Series finals going Wednesday night. Going to be a real fun card. I'll be on site too. Can't wait. But we've got a late pick four coming up here. Our final 4 dashes of the evening, races 7 through 10. And well, let's take a look at it. Low takeout, 15%. And I don't deviate too much from what I like in the pick 5, right? Numbers are going to be the same. It's going to be a little bit cheaper because we used 2 of them in race 6. And now we've still got the 1, 2, 5, and 6 in this race here. I thought the time waits unknown would take some support in here and thought she's raced fantastic in each of her last 2, but this is tougher now. And that's why I think we're seeing an equal distribution right now on the odds board. I'm going to go 1, 2, 5, and 6, and kind of playing out the way I thought it would on the odds board. But Anchor's So Real right now, some value in the pole position, 8-1 in any event. We're 4 deep here in race 7. Race 8, just 2 deep with the 1 and 4. The 2 shippers from Mohawk Park, both racing in tougher spots. Ahoy's been racing in those middle condition classes and was last a winner and non-winners of 4,000 last 5 at that venue. I really think that she's going to try to control things throughout from the pole position. And the 4 Salzburg Olympia is a interesting one in here there as well. I think it should come down to those 2, even though it pains me to not use Salzburg Jesse. I love that mare so much, but post 7 tonight and a couple of tough shippers that were inside, I think it might not play out favorably for her off the gates. If it does, though, she might have a chance. Race number 9, the 1 Doc's Philly Cheese. That's her single. Just thinking that one with the pole position, getting back to the river where he was oh so dominant on the engine August 11th, and the same class. We can, kind of hang our hat on that one, hoping he just comes right back to that form after, starting from the trailing post last time and not being able to do what he did here at Flamborough Downs on September the 5th. And then the money leg, to me, it looks like a wide open event. Philly Mare's claiming $7,000 for non-winners of 21.80 last 5. So those condition claimers, not always the most consistent form in those types of races. So I wanted to go deep with the 1, 4, 5, 8, and 9. Might not even be enough. I don't know. It looks like a kind of a tricky dash. I guess for a price play, the 8 Diamonds of Twine looked interesting to me. But I did side with the 5 Edam Zelli on top. Just thinking that one will like the class relief, right? Racing Open claiming company in the last 2 for a higher price tag. Should like getting down to this spot tonight. But $8 for 20 cents is how much that ticket will cost you. But you got to map out your winning wagers. Feel free to add, subtract to that ticket as you see fit, or just play your own selections throughout that sequence. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Take a closer look at race number 7.
Field for the seventh on parade. One Anchor So Real, Travis Henry for Patrick Bissett. Two is Big Bad Moses, Samuel Fillion for Gerard Demers and Tag Incorporated. Three is Odds On Checkmate, Colin Kelly for Brett Lester and Rose Smith. For Century, Georgia Lorimer McClure for Martin Kepfer. And five, Fear the Smoothie, Preston Shaw for Emily Leake. Number six, Time Waits on No One, Claim. Enter Jay Harris for Cassidy Schneider and Robert Sims Jr. Number seven is McMadel. It is Braden Arribling for Emily Tichon. Eight is Black Creek Rosebud, Daryl Thiessen for Chris Haskell and Tanner Glanville and Ken Calhoun and Ben Rathwell. It's a field of eight. Claim entered six-time Waits on No One. Well, this seventh race, Rob, no reason to wait on the six horse. Jay Harris likely to blast this one. If you fire from post seven and go to the front 2 races ago, you're probably firing with the claim enter from post position 6.
Yeah, you definitely you have to stay on that bandwagon. I mean, the thing is, Gary, is like I said, it's tougher though tonight, right? So I couldn't go alone with her tonight, but I've been, it was one that I was kind of beating myself up on for not taking two back from post seven, thinking she might have a tough time getting out there, getting to the lead from out there. She did it anyways, and last time out, was one that I thought was an absolute slam dunk, and that's how it played out. But this is now, a little bit tougher group to go up against in the open claiming ranks. But like you said, right, she's got that early foot to work with, and she's claimed, so she should be rolling early. But I just thought this looks like a little bit tougher tonight. And if she has any trouble getting to the front or gets taxed a little bit in getting to the engine, maybe it opens the door for someone else.
And now Big Bad Mosa is one that can get off the gate. And one of the differences here last couple times, outside posts, now gets to blast out from a better spot. And we saw those two, Big Bad Mosa Time Waits on No One last time out, but that's with Big Bad Mosa leaving from post 6 instead of post 2 here.
Exactly, yeah, and she's one that has enough early foot to really make the lead from anywhere, or at least get out to towards the front from anywhere. And I think that tonight we're going to obviously see her push out for position for post two, and she's one that I think prefers to be on the engine, but likely fares better in the two hole, right? Because we see her get soft on the end of her miles sometimes, but we'll see what happens tonight. I don't think that time waits on no one's going to want to sit a pocket trip. So I think Big Bad Mosa likely ends up with the same kind of journey. But if she doesn't have to use so much energy in the early stages, maybe she can be the one to go past tonight. Price discrepancy is probably about right. 1 point off right now. Wouldn't be surprised though if it gets a little bit wider in that margin come post time.
You know, one that I'm interested, 5 Fear the Smoothie, now comes back 14 days later and was off a little further between starts for that last start at Kawartha. Now a little tighter rotation, still 14 days, but strong barn that of Emily Leake.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason why I was going there too, right? That start last time out looked like one that maybe she needed to get back under her feet. Now there's that time again between starts, which you wish she was on back on a regular rotation. But like you said, the strong barn and a horse that you really should be competitive against this group. Was a winner not too long ago here at a shorter price, and I thought beat a group of horses that are probably a slightly easier anyways, but 10 to 1's a monster price on her, in my opinion. And again, maybe she's not going to be, at her absolute best tonight with that time between starts again, but I think she's worth a poke at 11 to 1.
Number one, Anchor So Real is tough to figure out because doesn't leave from the inside, but yet you also see this one at Clinton post 1 getting away 6th and then coming on to win by 2 lengths.
Yeah, and I saw that race live, and she beat time waits on no one on that occasion before she was in the barn of Cassidy Schneider. And the thing about Anchor So Real is I just think that she's, like you said, she's a versatile type, right? She doesn't need she doesn't really have a ton of really gate speed, but she doesn't need it. She can rough it first over. She can also race off cover. And she's 5 for 32 this season. All kinds of on the board finishes. I thought she was all kinds of valued at 8-1. I think you need to get that 9-2 off that break and stride last time. But I wouldn't be surprised if she was to take this one out.
Well, the tote board has decided that it's a two-horse race. Big Bad Mosa time waits on no one, and we both went with the claim to 6-time waits on no one. We'll see how it unfolds. Anchor So Real, Big Bad Mosa, odds on checkmate on the inside. In the center, Century Georgia, Fear the Smoothie. And to the outside, time waits on no one. McMadel and Black Creek Rosebud. Field of 8, 7th dash. Here they come. Giddy up. And the field for the 7th race. At the start of the round, Big Bad Mosa, Fear the Smoothie, time waits on no one. Black Creek Rosebud, odds on checkmate, Century Georgia, Anchor So Real. They work on around that turn, and right now it is Big Bad Mosa with the lead. Odds on checkmate is going to squeeze into the pocket, and then Fear the Smoothie, time waits on no one, isn't waiting and is still charging on the outside. And then Anchor So Real and Century Georgia. Big Bad Mosa's got the lead, but time waits on no one is continuing to drive, and time waits on no one, and Jay Harris is going to take the front. Big Bad Mosa is racing the pocket, odds on checkmate third as they checked into the quarter at 28-2. Fear the Smoothie fourth, and Anchor So Real, Century Georgia, McMadel, and Black Creek Rosebud. Time waits on no one. 9-5, slight favorite over Big Bad Mosa, 2-1 as they race off the turn, and then odds on checkmate is third, and Anchor So Real is taken into the safety lane and out of this one. Now Fear the Smoothie is coming first over. Odds on checkmate is racing fourth, and Century Georgia went off stride. McMadel is racing on the inside and is positioned fifth and works in front of Black Creek Rosebud, and it is time waits on no one. On the outside, Fear the Smoothie is moving up a little bit closer, has second. Big Bad Mosa, though, is right there in the pocket. Odds on checkmate is fourth, and now is checked out of the pylons and is moving out. 58-2.5, and they head up to 3/4. 30-second second pedal breather, and it is time waits on no one. Fear the Smoothie applying some pressure on the outside, and now time waits on no one, getting a little bit of urging, and still looks sharp on the lead. 128-3, the 3/4 time. Fear the Smoothie, and maybe the one to fear is Big Bad Mosa on the inside, or odds on checkmate. It is sent out 3 wide, and it is time waits on no one. On down the stretch drive they come. Big Bad Mosa on the outside, charging and blowing on by his odds on checkmate. Odds on checkmate at 9-1 as they check the tote board. Then it is time waits on no one. Big Bad Mosa and Black Creek Rosebud 159-1. Well, the tote board thought it was a two-horse race. Well, you know what, Rob? The tote board was wrong because odds on checkmate gets a check mark for a great effort.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The Brett Lester in the midst of a battle for the trainer's title, and his horses came to play tonight, right? It's the second one that just raced absolutely incredible. Uh, I listen. She's won last time. I mean, she raced against a pretty solid group. We thought, right? Runaway Harris was the winner in there. We were both fond of that one. This one was only just over 2 lengths back from that one, but I didn't see this ever coming from her tonight. To be perfectly honest, I went 4 deep and it didn't use her. She's over 24 this season. Now she gets into the win column though, right? Took her 25 starts to do it this year, but she does hit the board with frequency. She kind of gets herself into good spots and hits the ticket a lot. Tonight she put herself in a good spot and she paced past them in the stretch.
And a couple of horses of his that show some glimpses of late in that last start was better, but still, this was a nice step forward again.
Well, yeah, definitely nice step forward, and Colin Kelly, right, one of the drivers that's battling it out for the driver's title, and he put this one in the right spot. I mean, you knew that we would see likely time waits on no one and Big Bad Mosa rambling out of their time waits on no one. Had to work a little bit harder to get to the front tonight. Big Bad Mosa got that perfect pocket trip again, and I was kind of getting excited with Fear the Smoothie, right? Looked like she might kind of forge past, but she got tired in the first over position, and at that point I said, "Oh, looks like odds on checkmate's loaded," and she sure was.
And Black Creek Rosebud was flying at the finish, and at 45-1 gets onto the bottom of the super to help it pay. But back in front of us, is number 3. Odds on Checkmate, a 4-year-old JK End of an Era bay mare, owned by Rose Smith, trained by Brett Lester. Colin Kelly is called the winning driver. It's the first win in 2 seasons, second lifetime. Odds on Checkmate, 159-1. On the board, we have a 3-6-2-8. Note it is the driving hat trick on the evening for Colin Kelly. 3 on the night for Colin. The 7th race payouts 3 odds on Checkmate, 20-30, 780, and 370. 6-time weights on No One, 370 and 290, and 2 Big Bad Mosa, 290. $2 exact or 84.40. Dollar drive, $111. Dollar super, $1,539.95. the seventh race order of finish from the top says 731-86254. That's 731-86254. And the claim, number 6 time, waits on no one. The new trainer, GRR Demers. Field for the eighth on parade. One ahoy. Travis Henry for Sharmo and Bradley Grant. Number two, Sports Dutch is Samuel Fillion for Gerard Demaris and Allison Hepburn and Sean Brisebois. Number three, Fear the Crush, Garrett Rooney for Alan Shelton. For Salzburg Olympia, Colin Kelly for Vern Cochran and Edward Gork. And number five is Land of Paradise, Anthony Hunt for Scott McNiven and Thomas Broadhurst and Bradley McNiven and Shirley Griffin. Number six, Miller Fromage. It's Daryl Thiessen for Harry Martin. And number seven, Salzburg Jesse, Brett Madonna for Ron McDonald and Edward Gork. Field of seven. Nice field of pacing fillies and mares, top level condition. Let's get a look at this field. And right now, 6-1 on One Ahoy. And Rob, one that I think races a lot better when she gets off the gate, or at least if you look down the lines, that's what you're led to think. But you do see a couple of post ones at Mohawk 2 and 3 races ago. I want you to explain to our viewers why post one at Mohawk isn't the advantage that you might think it is. And interesting, when they have eliminations with a final in a stakes event, the winners of the eliminations are offered posts 2 through 6.
Yeah, they're typically going to the higher percentage spots, and post six actually is typically the best place to start from at Mohawk Park. But they got the staggered gate first of all, so the post one's actually starting significantly further back, right, than other horses, and it's also pretty difficult, with the longer run to the turn for horses to kind of get momentum from that spot, and a lot of drivers, kind of hate leaving from the rail. Um, and it's obviously a whole different kettle of fish here at Grand River on the short track, and well, sometimes we will say that you'd rather have post 2, 3, or 4 maybe on one that's got all kinds of early foot. I'd always pound for pound rather have rail control, and Ahoy I think will benefit from it. And the thing is too, Gary, is I mean just the level of competition she's been facing against to what who she's going to face now, and she was a winner here. Like her last start at Grand River may not have panned out all that well for her, but she had the 7 hole, got away seventh off the gate. She crushed them, in now there's a 3100 last three back in early June, and that was a nice confidence boost for her at the time. Yeah, it's a bit tougher tonight, but I think this is going to be something that she's going to enjoy, and she'll likely push out of there, get forwardly placed. If she doesn't cut it, she should be close to the lead, and 6-1 to me is a giant size price.
And number four, Salzburg Olympia has been taking a ton of action all the way through the betting cycle and also has been facing tougher, although that last one is a lesser field than Ahoy faced, but certainly came home big time.
She did, and she typically, kind of has been doing that, right? Like she's a horse that's got, gears, and she was, fond of this surface. If you remember, back in 2021, she had back-to-back victories here in June, and then was second in August. So she's familiar with this track, and she's had success here. So no worries about her, getting around a half or anything like that. Um, but I guess for me, she seems to do her best kind of work when she kind of trips out, or or kind of gets to lay off them and then just attack them with one big brush. I'm not so sure that works as well here at the river as it might at Mohawk Park, right, with the bigger surface and the bigger stretch. So I don't know. I give the edge to Ahoy because I think Ahoy's got more tactical speed, and maybe later in the mile, Salzburg Olympia will have more pace, but I just think Ahoy might be more handy over the surface. So 9-2 versus 4-5. You know what direction I'm going in.
Number seven, Salzburg Jesse, 7-1. Nice price in Salzburg Jesse. Not a nice gate pot.
No, it's not. It pains me to pay against her. You know how much I love Sulphur Jessie, and we've seen her do so many great things here at Grand River, and you've seen her do tremendous things beyond that too, right? Flamborough, Georgian. I mean, she's been a horse that has had tremendous success in the B tracks, especially. And post 7 though is the great equalizer for her tonight, right? Like she's got tons of early foot off the gate. I'm just not sure that that's going to be the game plan tonight because I don't see how it works out for her.
I want to get a quick last second thought on Sports Duchess and Fear the Crush.
Sports Duchess for me, I think same with a chance. I mean, post 2, I think we'll see her go forward off the gate this time, not the off the pace trip she had last time when she scored at Flamborough. And Fear the Crush, I mean, we know what she's capable of doing here, and she was an easy winner too back at non-winners of 3. This is a much tougher group, but just with her brush, if she's in the right spot, she can get a piece of it. I don't think she can win though. This is a pretty tough spot for her.
Well, taking up those spots, it'll be Ahoy and Sports Duchess on the inside. In the center, Fear the Crush, Salzburg Olympia, Land of Paradise. And to the outside, Milieu Fromage and Salzburg Jessie. Field of 7/8 dash, here they come. Field for race number 8 is at the start of the rough. Ahoy will ship out with Sports Duchess, and Salzburg Jessie is going to blast from the outside. Salzburg Jessie got off the gate on fire and now is able to grab the lead, although looks a little rough gated right now, but now smoothens out a bit. Ahoy racing second, then it is Salzburg Olympia third, Sports Duchess fourth, and then Fear the Crush, Land of Paradise, and Milieu Fromage. Salzburg Jessie was able to fire off the wings and now looks smooth as they race on to the opening quarter. Ahoy is racing position second, 28 seconds opening quarter. Salzburg Olympia is third, but is currently about 6 or 7 lengths off the lead. Then Sports Duchess and Fear the Crush and Land of Paradise and Milieu Fromage. They race their way off the turn. Salzburg Jessie at 20-1 has the lead as they race up towards us. And now they come on past the half with Ahoy in the pocket on the back of Salzburg Jessie. Was able to blast off the gate from post 7. Little closer third is Salzburg Olympia. Then Sports Duchess and Fear the Crush, Land of Paradise. And back to Milieu Fromage. Salzburg Jessie still leading at 20-1. Ahoy at 4-1 is in the pocket. Salzburg Olympia is racing to the outside and now is moving up. Salzburg Olympia is coming on the outside against Salzburg Jessie, and Ahoy elected to stay down to the inside on the back of Salzburg Jessie, and Sports Duchess is racing fourth. Then Fear the Crush and Land of Paradise and Milieu Fromage. Salzburg Jessie still leading, but that lead is shrinking to Salzburg Olympia, and Ahoy is looking to blast up the passing lane, and Sports Duchess is fourth, a turn for home. Salzburg Jessie still with the lead. Here comes Ahoy up the inside. Ahoy is going to blast up the inside and get the job done. Salzburg Jessie second, Salzburg Olympia third, and Sports Duchess fourth. 155 flat. Ahoy ships up the passing lane to win it, and Rob, I will admit I was a little worried when Travis Henry stayed on the inside, but the plan turned out right. I was worried if Salzburg Jessie, after using so much energy early, would carry him far enough, or if on the outside Salzburg Olympia would get the jump.
Yeah, it looked like Salzburg Olympia might be able to do, that style of racing I mentioned, right? She loves that one big, brush, at them, and if she brushes by, then obviously Ahoy would be in a world of trouble. But first of all, what a price on Ahoy here, 4-1. My lord, I thought she would be bet down to odds on in here. I really did. I thought she'd be odds on, and Salzburg Jessie would be around maybe 8-5 or 9-5, because there's no comparing the level of competition they were coming out of. Right, Ahoy was facing much tougher horses, and she's already shown she can win here this year. We know Salzburg Olympia's won here earlier in her career, so again, monster price. But I mean, the performance. I mean, it's one of those ones where you look at it and yeah, I can cash on Ahoy, but I say, wow, like poor Salzburg Jessie, what an effort and defeat, Gary. Like she blasts out the wings of the gate. I said, if she tries to leave tonight, that might not work out well for her. Well, she cleared them in an instant, and she was gone on them in the earlier stages, and then fends off Salzburg Olympia, the 2-5 favorite, and then gets beat by a horse who gets an absolute perfect trip on her back, and does so by the slimmest of margins. So hats off to Salzburg Jessie. That's a monstrous effort. 20-1 on the board too. Like, it's going to help these exotics pay.
I think people just look at that ninth, eighth, ninth, and just get scared away. But, well, I'm kind of glad they got scared away, because enough of them got scared away for us to get Ahoy down at 4-1. And it was an interesting dash, and it comes in 1742. The top four, and back in front of us is number one, Ahoy, 5-year-old Captain Treacherous Bay Mare, owned by Bradley Grant, trained by Richard Moreau. Travis Henry, the winning drive, fourth win this year, 17th lifetime. Ahoy, 155 flat. 1742 is the top four. That's 1742. Eighth race payouts: 1 Ahoy, 10-10, 650, 240. 7 Salisbury Jassy, $17 and $5 and 4. Salisbury Olympia, 220. $2 exactor, $107. Dollar try, $127.35. Dollar superfected, $264.20. 8th race. Order of finish from the top, 1453672. That's 1453672. Field for the ninth on parade. One Doc's Philly Cheese. Garrett Rooney for Brittany Kennedy and Money Clip Racing. Number 2, Carson Star Choice. Anthony Hunt for Vicky Craig and David Carson. Number 3, Full Credit. Job Smith for Jane Walker. 4 is Don't Poke the Bear. Ryan DeRoche for Ken Middleton Jr. and David Walls and James Grant. 5 is called in sick. Brett Madonna for Tim Myers and David O'Macaulay. And number 6, Dalhousie. Travis Henry for Jim Kerr and Jack Ramage. Field of 6, race number 9. Let's get a look at this field. And, well, first up, 4 to 5 and Doc's Philly Cheese. We got 4 to 1. Last race on Ahoy Maiden got that one home, but we're not going to get that kind of price, I don't think, on Doc's Philly Cheese, Rob.
No, we definitely won't. I was also happy too. I got off the Schneid there, Gary. I was 0 for the night, and I don't like it when there's potential for me to go 0 for the night. So nice to get that one home, and especially at a good price of 4 to 1 with Ahoy. But yeah, Doc's Philly Cheese, same starting spot, but definitely not going to go off at that same number. It's because that last victory here, August 11th, that was as dominant as it gets. He was absolutely on fire on that occasion when he scored by a wide margin at 8 to 5, and then last time out at Flamborough Downs, got away fifth from the trailing post, just didn't fire like he did 2 back. But I think getting back here, same class, should be all systems go tonight, and he's hard to go against.
Well, and look, if anyone's going to go against him, we both think it's 6 Dalhousie, but the post disadvantage. But look at Dalhousie raced pretty well from an outside post last time out.
Yeah, Dalhousie, like I said, after his latest when he finished second to Beach Tour, even the one where he won by a nose, he seems like he's kind of back to his old self, right? He kind of took some starts to kind of get into gear when he returned from the bench, but now he's kind of the horse that we remember, that type that typically lands, first or second, high percentage winner. He's won 2 of his last 4, second last time out from post 7. Moving in a spot tonight, and I think he's the main danger. And 3 to 1's not a terrible price if you we're looking to play against one like Doc's Philly Cheese.
Number 5, Called in Sick, is one that tough. The trailer post last race, battle first up, and that effort to third beaten 5, not all that bad, and then was a winner here the start before it.
Now, you know how much I love Called in Sick. The thing for me today is that, oddly enough, I'd probably bet him with more confidence off of Vet Scratch Sick, because we know that he can win in those spots, and he's done it frequently. Oddly enough, he's aptly named, but this time around, it's more so just the time between starts, right? He's missed over a month between starts, but he was in good form. I jumped off his bandwagon 2 back when he won by a neck. Shouldn't have done that. And then last time he was a good third to Doc's Philly Cheese. So 5 to 1 is value on him. You just have to hope that he's good to go after missing a bit of time. If he is, he can be right there with these, and that price might end up being a bargain.
And listen, the next one I want to go to is number 4, Poke the Bear. I know that 2, Carson Star Choice is your 4th one, but listen, got to go to Don't Poke the Bear because, well, Ken Middleton Jr. and David Walls, 2 members of the Announcers Union. I'm not sure if we let commentators in the union yet. Well, we'll have to decide on that. We'll have that at the next meeting. But,
That's okay.
well, one way to let you in, I'll tell you what. If you pay your dues 10 years advance and mail it care of Gary Guy, then we'll let you in the union. But Don't Poke the Bear is one that was really good last year. Only one win, but hit the board often.
He did. He was kind of notorious for that, right? Don't Poke the Bear, a horse that was kind of just missing so many times, and had so many on the board finishes over the last 2 seasons. Really, you look back, 2 seasons ago, he ends up, with all kinds of on the board finishes, just one victory. He's got 2 wins now in his life. He's a horse that always seems to try hard. And for me, I looked at it and said, first start back, he could definitely, throw his hat into the ring here to get a piece of this. I just thought that I'd watch him this time out. I think he'd be more than competitive against this group. I just want to see maybe get a start under his belt or two because he's been off for quite some time.
And throw in a thought about Carson Star Choice you used on the bottom.
Just the inside post, tactical speed. Figured he'd be double digits, exactly what he is right now, 12-1. I think it's an overlay. Not so sure he can beat these rivals if they come up with their best, but he can certainly get a piece of it and maybe help the exotics pay.
Well, it is a field of 6 for race number 9. Doc's Philly Cheese. Carson Star Choice on the inside. Full credit, Don't Poke the Bear in the center. The outside called in Sickendall Housey. It's a field of 6 for race number 9. They're at the top of the stretch. Here they come. They're at the start and they're off. Doc's Philly Cheese. Don't Poke the Bear isn't poking around early. Full credit. Carson Star Choice. Then called in sick. Dalhousie is trailing the field. Doc's Philly Cheese. And Don't Poke the Bear is racing second and is now going to get to the pylons. And Carson Star Choice is third. Then Full Credit is racing fourth. Called in sick and Dalhousie. Doc's Philly Cheese. 1-2 on the board has the lead. Don't Poke the Bear is right there in the pocket at 8-1, 27-2. Sharp opening panel. Carson Star Choice is third. Full Credit fourth, and then called in sick and Dalhousie. It is Doc's Philly Cheese. 1-2 on the board. Don't Poke the Bear was sharp right since the get-go and is filling the pocket. And then it's a gap of a length and a half, and Carson Star Choice is racing position third in front of Full Credit. Called in sick Dalhousie to the outside. Halftime recorded 57-29 3 second panel as they work their way on past the 5/8. Doc's Philly Cheese. Don't Poke the Bear racing second. Carson Star Choice now. Dalhousie on the outside is moving up. Dalhousie has taken over third and then called in sick. About to grab fourth. Carson Star Choice weakens on the inside and Full Credit. It is Doc's Philly Cheese, but Dalhousie is on the outside in closing ground. And Don't Poke the Bear is still there in the hunt on the inside. And called in sick is racing fourth. Trailing pair Carson Star Choice and Full Credit. 3/4, 126-1. And it is Doc's Philly Cheese, but on the outside, Dalhousie. Don't Poke the Bear and called in sick on down the stretch. Drive for Doc's Philly Cheese, being chased by Dalhousie. Doc's Philly Cheese, Dalhousie is charging. Doc's Philly Cheese, though, is game. Doc's Philly Cheese was able to hold off a hard charging Dalhousie. Don't Poke the Bear and called in sick. 154-3. Doc's Philly Cheese 1-2 on the board. Got a serious test by Dalhousie, but was up to it and really looked sharp coming home.
He did, yeah, he did. It was a big effort from Doc's Philly Cheese, and he bangs home pretty good here, and has to dig deep, right, to hold off Dalhousie. And we said it, right? Dalhousie seems to be back to that former self. The first starts that he had since coming back off the bench, you were kind of leaving a little bit be desired, Gary. But now he's that horse that's very determined and does not like getting beat. I mean, he keeps coming here. I thought that he might even re-rally again and maybe get to Doc's Philly Cheese, but he was just too sharp on the engine to let that one go past. But Dalhousie toughed it out first over again tonight from a tricky post off the gate, and that's a big mile for him. So we'll have to watch where he goes next because, again, he's been turning in big effort after big effort.
And Don't Poke the Bear came flying out, wasn't poking around early, and, well, hits the ticket again.
Yeah, he kind of showed that dimension he's shown, quite a while ago when he would kind of leave out of there. Most recent efforts, he's been kind of racing off the pace. He rambled out of there early today, got in the 2-hole, and raced pretty good for a horse that hadn't raced since April 27th. So that's another one we're looking forward to. I mean, I've always thought he's had a lot of ability. He's just really light in the win column. Tonight's probably a good step in the right direction, and happy to see it for Ken Middleton and Dave Walls,
Yeah, by the
and
way,
James Grant for that matter.
yeah, and don't forget to mail those dues to Gary Guy. I'll give you my
Well,
address off air. 1645 is the top four. Dalhousie was great at 1-2 on the board. Back in front of us, Doc's Philly Cheese, a 4-year-old better than Cheddar Bay horse, owned by Brittany Kennedy and Money Clip Racing. Brittany Kennedy is the trainer. Garrett Rooney, the winning driver, 7th win this year, 14th lifetime. Doc's Philly Cheese, 154 and 3. The ninth race payouts: 1 Doc's Philly Cheese, 310, 220, and 210. 6 Dalhousie, 280 and 210. 4 Don't Poke the Bear, 370. $2 exactor, $5. Dollar Try, 24.20. Dollar Super, 32.95. Ninth race, order of finish from the top: 156342. That's 156342. Field for the 10th on parade. 1, Rambaran Rose, Colin Kelly for Pat Rouleau, and Stephanie DiPietro and Don Carswell. Number 2, Rock On, Harriet Garrett Rooney for Graham Burgess. 3 is PTQ Hanover, Nello Googly Elby Drives and Trains and Owns. 4 is Brave as My Mama, Todd Ratchford for Gary Anderson. 5 is Etam Zelly, Paul Davies for Jacob Murray and Greg Parsons. Number 6, Watch Me Dance, Anthony Hahn for Michael Pattison. Number 7, Century of Anna, Rob Jenkins Jr. for William Burgess and Jeffrey Kelly. 8 is Diamonds Are Twine, Paul McKenzie for Gary McDonald and Christina Soundy. And number 9, Stonebridge Theme, Brett McDonough for J.P. Marshall and Field of 9, race number 10. It's the bottom class, so Rob, we don't get a lot in the way of current form when you get down to this bottom class. You kind of got to earn your way in by some failed tests to get into the remedial class. And Etam's Ellie, well, before those last couple 6th place finishes, actually raced okay and now dropped, so that's where we landed with Etam's Ellie as our top pick.
Yeah, I think it's almost where you have to kind of go at first glance, right? Even though she's over 18 on the season, she's got 8 on the board finishes, and those last 2 efforts are against infinitely tougher. I mean, what price would Shady Memories or Cinderella Delight be in here? They would be absolutely hammered on the board, down to 1 to 9 against this group. And I thought that she was racing, reasonably well last time in her last efforts against condition claimers. And she doesn't really have a tremendous amount of gate speed, but she might not need it, right? She just posted up on a helmet. She might be hard to hold off. I mean, hard to take 8 to 5 though, Gary. Like on a win ticket on anyone in this field. When you get down to this spot, I mean, like you said, the consistency is just not there, and I wouldn't really endorse anyone taking a short price on any horse because I mean, she's over 18, right? And for a reason. Can she break through in here? Of course she can, but I wouldn't be jumping aboard anyone at 8 to 5.
Now, in this type of class, one of my favorite moves is to throw out the favorite and to go after the next few because really there shouldn't be a favorite in here. One that I could go to is 4 As Brave as My Mama. 3rd last time out. Well, 3rd to Time Waits on No One and Big Bad Mosa. We saw those two just a little while back.
Yeah, and she was 3rd to Time Waits on No One last time, and 4th the time before that. And she's a horse that I think for me, like whenever I see her in these spots, I always kind of gravitate towards her because she's got back class with 24 lifetime victories, right? And I've kind of played her in much tougher spots than this. She's got tactical speed, so she's got that going for her. The price right now is right at 4 to 1. I mean, I thought she would be bet down a second favorite on here. Right now, she's kind of slipping past as 3rd choice, and with a pretty big margin between her and the 2 favorites. So 9 to 2, the price is right on her. I'd say she's the value on the board right now.
1 Rambaran Rose, I'd like a little better price, but this is the one with the most wins on the year 4. And Rambaran Rose now gets on the front of the gate on the inside as opposed to the trailer post last time out.
Yeah, obviously, I love it when a horse just goes from trailer post to nose on gate, even more so when they get to work from the pole position. Raced on short rest last time, regular rotation this time out. Colin Kelly aboard, and I think she'll get forwardly placed tonight, and we'll see what she can do. Last time, I thought that she didn't race all that great. She was 20 to 1 on that occasion, 2 to 1 today. That's a tough price to swallow on her current form, but she can be a part of it.
And if you like the 1, could you like the 9?
Yeah, always like the 9, and with this one, open 7 claimer 2 back, got beat by a wide margin. That was TC Scandal. We better in here, no doubt. And first time, since August 29th racing a condition claimer, and I think this is probably a softer spot. The other one, 2 Diamonds Are Twine. If she could ever work out a trip from post A, Gary, 24 to 1. That's a big price on her in here, and I think that she's more than capable of beating this group.
Yeah, and that's Yeah, just the post position, but 25 to 1, at least to help if you get it onto the super high five. And Rambaran Rose, Rock On, Harriet, and PDQ Hanover on the inside. As Brave as My Mama, Etam Zelly in the center, the outside Watch Me Dance, Century Event, Diamonds Are Twine. Second deer, Stonebridge Theme. Field of 9, race number 10, here they come. Field for the 10th race is at the start of the rough. Rambaran Rose is Brave as My Mama, Rock On Harriet, and PDQ Hanover. Then Stonebridge Theme and Etam Zelly. Watch Me Dance and Century Event and Diamonds Are Twine. But the early lead belongs right now to Rambaran Rose and Colin Kelly. Stonebridge Theme got out well from the trailer post to fill the pocket. As Brave as My Mama, Rock On Harriet, and PDQ Hanover. Etam Zelly, then Watch Me Dance and Century Event and Diamonds Are Twine is trailing to field. Rambaran Rose, 8 to 5 on the board, has the lead for Colin Kelly as they race their way past the opening quarter in 29 and 1. Stonebridge Theme and Brett McDonald is second, as Brave as My Mama third. Rock On Harriet is currently rocking the fourth position. PDQ Hanover now moves out in front of Etam Zelly, who is sixth, and then Watch Me Dance and Century Event and Diamonds Are Twined to the outside, but trailing. It is Rambaran Rose and Kelly with the front. And Stonebridge Theme, Brett McDonald in the pocket still. On the outside is Brave as My Mama, braving it first over. 1 minute, 1/5 the halftime, 31-second second panel as they work into the backstretch with Rambaran Rose and Stonebridge Theme the top two. As Brave as My Mama coming on first over. PDQ Hanover's on the back of his Brave as My Mama. Rock On Harriet is still rocking an inside position. Etam Zelly is third over and is racing on the outside sixth, and now he's going to pop out 3 wide. Then it is Watch Me Dance and Diamonds Are Twine and Century Event. It is still Rambaran Rose. Rambaran Rose is Brave as My Mama. Stonebridge Theme's been getting the trip. Rock On Harriet is fourth. Then it is PDQ Hanover. Etam Zelly's out 3 wide and trying to come on, but still has plenty of work to do, but is closing now. 3/4, 129 and 4. Rambaran Rose double the lead. Stonebridge Theme is going to blast up the inside. Is Brave as My Mama to the outside. Stonebridge Theme, Rambaran Rose. Stonebridge Theme, Rambaran Rose. Stonebridge Theme on the inside with Rambaran Rose. As Brave as My Mama, then Rock On Harriet, Etam Zelly. 2 minutes flat. Stonebridge Theme up the inside to get the job done in the final dash, Rob.
Yeah, and nice price on this one too, right? And we always say it, we probably say it once a night at least, Gary, right? If you like the 1, you got to like the 9. And, it's tough to take a short price on anyone here. We had a pair of 8 to 5 shots. I think they both, worked their way. Oh, no, it looks like she finishes 5th there. But either way, though, right? Rambaran Rose, led the way for Stonebridge Theme. And I love it, though, when a horse from the trailing post stays right on the pole sitter's helmet. And then when that one blasts out to the lead, can sit that 2-hole trip. We don't see it as much anymore, right? Something you used to always see on the B tracks. Don't see it as much anymore, but saw it in there, and she gets her nose on the wire at 7 to 1.
I'm a little worried when you see the first replay. It looks like, gee, did I get that wrong? I thought I saw the 9, and then we see the slower one, and then I realize, okay.
Listen, I'm impressed. Old Hawkeye.
But the one thing is where we haven't quite been willing to take the 9 on top is because a lot of drivers have not been getting right up tight on the helmet, whereas in this case, Brett McDonald was locked on Rambaran Rose.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's something I often talk to drivers about when I do some of my hits for Ontario Racing on social media is talking about trailing posts, and us as armchair drivers think that it's probably easy, right? Hey, just put the horse's nose on a helmet. It's probably not that easy to do, and when you're out there and some of these horses don't really like starting from that spot, but Stonebridge Theme handled it like a professional tonight, and that made the difference, right? She gives up 1 spot off the gate. She's not in the winner's circle right now.
You probably have to have confidence in who you're following out isn't going to stumble because, then you're really in a problem.
Oh, no doubt about it. But yeah, Brett McDonald, fantastic job with that one there. Nose to helmets, and it paid off. And as Brave as my Mama, I thought raced really well to be third there. I thought she might get past the pace setter. Didn't do it at 9 to 2, but that was another solid effort from her.
It's a 9-1-4-2-5 top 5, and Rob, we still have 2 days to go. Monday and Wednesday. Sharpen your pencils as we've got a driver and trainer battle going on for a couple of days. We'll talk to you on Monday evening.
Yeah, can't wait, Gary. Looking forward to it.
Back in front of us is 9 Stonebridge Fame, 4-year-old sports writer Brown Bear, owned by Jean Marchaldon. JP Marchaldon is also the trainer. Smiling Brett McDonald back in the winner's circle. It's the first win this year for Stonebridge Fame, third lifetime, 2 minutes flat. The 10th race payout, 9 Stonebridge Fame, 1680, 680, and 410. 1 Ram Baron Rose, 340, 270. 4 is Bravest My Mama, 320. The $2 race actor numbers 9 and 1. Coming up in a second. That's Stonebridge Fame and Ram Baron Rose. Returns $50, $20 Tribe, 90.75. The double of 1 and 9, 39.70. The dollar pick 3, 61.90. Dollar win 4, 1,031.90. Dollar pick 5, 3,253.35. Dollar high 5, 1,237.05. Hey, bada boom, bada bing. The 10th race over finish from the top is at 247 356 981. That's 247 356 981 on the bottom. Well, that does conclude the live harness racing program, but I think we're going to take a look at that win photo in race number 10 again, I believe. And maybe not. Our next live racing event is this coming Monday with a first dash of 6:30 p.m. Buenas noches, amigo. Good night, everybody. Good night, Christine.